And recording. Fantastic.
There we go.
Is everything showing up? Great.
Good.
All right, great. Yeah, you'll listen over here. It'll probably be a little bit off, but that'll be good.
No worries.
Well, hi, everyone. Thank you for being here, and welcome to the new year. We're absolutely supercharged about what's going on. There's all kinds of exciting news. And first of all, just want you to know, feel free to ask any questions. And now I'm getting a little echo. That's weird.
That could be from me.
It is, yeah. Turn off your... There you go. Are you muted?
Coming.
Yep.
Okay, great. That explains it. Perfect. So we're great. So what we'll do is Henry's going to do an intro here with you, and we're going to just dive right into Masterminds.
Why don't you give the update
And
right back, Mike?
fantastic. So, there's all kinds of great stuff happening. One of the things that I'm going to share with you in this webinar, and I invite you to ask any questions related to it, is we'll talk a little bit about the results of our last launch, the Cross-Channel Mojo launch, which we learned a ton from. And it was really, frankly, it was a massive challenge because we not only, I don't know if I'll say violated, we broke a lot of rules, and some of which really worked to our advantage, some of them did not. And also, we're going to talk a little bit, so I'll write these down. And also, again, I want to encourage you, any questions you have, make sure you send them off to me right now. But if you have them, we'll talk about is Henry and I are going to do a little intro. We're going to also talk about some of our time management and goal setting tips. We're going to talk about our launch results plus lessons. Really interesting stuff. Like I said, it was we learned so much from this one this time around. And then, of course, we're going to do round robin masterminds. So I would encourage you right now, whoever wants to go first, say me, and let me know that you want to go first and what you want to talk about. And I know Henry just walked out for a moment. He has some other specific agenda items. So I guess while we're waiting for him to come back, I'll just dive right into the launch results of Cross-Channel Mojo and let you know a little bit about that. The bottom line is it was our 5th consecutive multi-million launch. Let's see, 7-figure launch, which obviously is great news, especially in this environment. If you don't know this already about launches, they've become increasingly difficult to do. The vast majority, which according to my insider friends, they say 95% of them never break 7 figures. We violated all of our old our rules, and I'll just say it's kind of kooky, because one of the things I always tell people is just do what works and don't do what doesn't work, okay? Well, I broke my own rules, and sometimes you need to do that to learn. And also, we wanted to test out the formula and see if it in fact is broken, flawed, or something like that. And the fact of the matter is, whatever works is what you want to continue doing. So that was a big lesson here, is do what works. But also, I never really liked the name of the product. Originally, we were going to call it Mobile Marketing Machines. And what wound up happening is we changed the name to Cross-Channel Mojo because we didn't think it encapsulated. You know, if it was just mobile, people would say, it's just another Me Too product, or, you know, the reliance on the Marketing Machines brand would have been problematic, or, you know, fill in the blanks here, all sorts of things. So we decided to do the Cross-Channel Mojo. Also, the format and formula of the scripts, I actually hated the scripts, but the creative team really pushed me and pressured me into trying something completely different. And what wound up happening is the first day that the shopping cart was open, we did about $200,000 in sales. And I genuinely thought we were completely screwed. Because just for the record, the cost, just the hard costs, when you take into account people plus prizes, plus outsource, plus credit, plus whatever, all the expenses is about $350,000. That's what's at risk. So realistically, you got to do at least double that. In other words, our break even to make this thing worth it would have had to have been at about $700,000. And you always have to remember that you're paying out not just, in our case, 40% to affiliates, plus there's about 10% in other costs with other people who are basically getting a piece of the action, plus credit processors, plus just cost of delivery. You're lucky if you walk away with 20% net profit on your product. So, and the fact that these days credit processors have holdbacks on the money for a long period of time. So there's massive, massive risk. And again, ultimately, between us on the line here, we were in the couple $1 million range when we were down, and when we finished up. But virtually all of the sales were a result of the live cast. Okay, all right, and that just goes to show the power of a couple things. And I'll tell you what the formula was that worked. And again, in my opinion, the launch itself and the scripts and the story and the positioning, everything about it was wrong. Other than we had a cool title, a pretty cool name, and the video animation was cool. All right. Animation. And also the music. Okay, so it was basically the feel. It was different, okay? And the bottom line there is different sells, okay? And I'm going to just tell you this for the record. Mm-hmm. If you come up with something that sounds good and it looks good and it just does what you say it's going to do and it's different, you're going to sell, okay? This is why movement equals progress, okay? So sitting around and worrying about a bunch of details is just plain stupid. Now, that doesn't excuse doing stupid things, but if we would have had a good market-to-message match right from the start, I think we would have doubled our sales, okay? Now, the way we figured that out is we literally just flew in our heroes, we investigated, we spoke with them, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, and what we did is we got our story straight. And you don't have to put it in there. Oh, yeah, just set it down, but not in. I'm going to keep it warm, okay? So, but you can set it over there so I don't have to smell it. We're moving around sandwiches over here. I know that's very exciting for you. But we got our story straight, plus we got the proof put together, plus a theme. And I'm going to share with you a couple of things that ended up pushing this thing over the top and making it work. And I'll show you the slides in just one moment as soon as my slug butt computer catches up to me here. Let's see, here it is. Okay, I don't know which one's which, but it'll work good enough. And let's see. And Jason Smith, by the way, is saying you can't hear me. That means you don't have, well, I don't know. I don't know what your problem is here. Do you want to type to him here? Yep. You can hear me fine, though, right?
Double checking.
Okay, you can hear me? Fine? Great. All right. Perfect. Means he's doing something wrong. All right, good. So here's what worked. A couple things. First of all, if we skip past all the crap, there's a couple things that make selling work. The first one of which is being able to declare the rules of what provides and what results in success. All right? So here we came up with our rules. Rule number 1, rule number 2, rule number 3, rule number 4, rule number 5. It has to be step by step, ideally 3 to 5 rules. And then the case study. And the case study formula that we experimented with that really works is, who is it for? What did you do? How much did you get? How long did it take? And what were the results? All right? Pretty darn simple. And then we ended up doing a video. And once again, the formula was, who did you do it for? What did you do? how much did you get? How long did it take? What were the results? And in this case, how much did you make? And then what we did is we started bringing that around to like, oh, by the way, you get that too. So you get the person in the box. So we increase the value of the hero in this case, you get training, and you get something that's easy to use, and in this case, made him, X, and it's easy to do, and is unlimited. This is a really critical thing that we've found. Now, I wish we could just give away unlimited usage of Instant Customer, but the unfortunate reality is we'd go broke in 5 seconds because every single thing inside there costs us money to deliver. It's not like it's free. You just can't do an unlimited model unless you're charging people $10,000 a month. So we move along again. The video, the formula, customer type, what you did, how much you charge, how long it took, what were the results, and then how much you got from that. So people need to be able to see, if I do this, exactly, this is, Henry is saying the story, if I do this, it results in that, and I can do it too, which is basically this. And if you can give them the sense that it's unlimited, there's no restrictions. People hate barriers and borders unless the barriers and borders are the how long it took and what I have to do. Tell me what I need to do so I can do it, but don't tell me what I can't do. And I think psychologically that wound up really working to our advantage. And then if I go back up to the top here, there's something else that I'm going to show you right now that ended up working. And really, we did our first webcast, and by the time the webcast ran, the first one, I knew what people were responding to based upon the sales. And this is why live casts are so powerful. It's live casts allow for, one of them, exactly, interactivity, social proof, and more importantly, social pressure. Anyone who is on, and I know like Susan Merlot was there, and I believe Ellen was on. We had a lot of our past heroes and all-stars on. And what they were doing is providing social pressure, which is, don't be an idiot. This is the best, fastest, easiest thing to do ever. And then we had real customers, okay? And some of those customers had literally picked up the product on the first day, made 2 phone calls, and closed deals. And they were closing multi-$1,000 deals with no prior experience or marketing at all, okay? So live... short-term proof, and we even interviewed a couple of them. And success, exactly. And
that's what pushes people over, because then they're saying, "Oh, I can do that too."
Yep. Yeah,
I can do it too.
Yes, exactly. Raise my hand. I want that. I can do it too. So that is, I want that. I can do that too.
The other thing too, Mike, is that you've done a good job finding people that look, quote unquote normal. I mean, they don't look like superstars. They aren't slicked back salespeople, and then people say, I mean, for lack of a better word, if that idiot can do it, boy, I can do it too. Which is huge. Same thing when you sell weight loss. You got to show the fat slob who looks like he has no chance, and he lost 100 pounds and is dating the supermodel.
Yep, you got to love it. So inside here, I'm going to give you the little pitch, and by sometime today, I've got a designer who's working on an animation of this, and I believe that I'll be able to pitch something in 3 to 5 minutes to get the point across to crush our sales. And when we re-roll out Cross-Channel Mojo as an evergreen, I have the hook, okay? So I'm going to give you the hook right now, and I'm sharing this to you and with you right now. So you see not just the power of this, but how you can apply it in your own business too. Because being able to describe what is oftentimes a complex idea in a short period of time is the difference between making money or not making money. So it's basically what the live cast allowed for was developing and practicing a hook, Okay.
With live real-time feedback.
Totally.
Yeah,
That's the
huge.
thing I forgot. Yeah, this is when I say interactivity. Live sales results. I mean, here's what this is. I'm so glad you brought that up, Henry, because here's what happened. This is huge. I was getting real-time updates of every single sale. One of the things that I do when I'm doing an event, and you saw this in the background. I don't know if you'll see it in one of these little videos I have playing in the background here when I was doing the live casts, but I had 2 laptops on the desk. There they are, okay? I had one of them, I had the browser open and the chat window open. The other one is I had my mail, and I'm watching the sales come in real time, okay? Now, I had other people monitoring it too, and I was chatting on my mobile phone, getting real-time results. So I could see exactly anyone who is on screen who resulted in sales, and I could pay attention to the chat roll. I saw an increased movement in chat roll, so you see excitement. That's the measurement, okay? Excitement measurement means there's something going on, and then when people are like, yeah, that's what I'm talking about, they're given this, basically they're applauding, okay? So just imagine if you're on stage and the whole audience is applauding and clapping and cheering, and they're handing money to you. Okay, that's what a live cast allows you to do, and that is so effing exciting, I can't tell you. So, literally, I knew we nailed it by the second day, and if you watch the replays, you'll see that my energy shifted, my confidence shifted. I walked into this, and I'm telling you, I seriously thought we were effed, okay? We were like, I was dreading being on camera. I felt, it had been months of preparation and unbelievable amount of work and time away from my family. Our team is just feeling bludgeoned down. It was so much freaking work. I mean, lunches suck from that point of view. There's nothing more terrible. But this happens, everything switches, and you'll be like, well, how in the hell can you spend 8 hours on camera without any breaks? It's when you got results like this, okay? So in real time, I'm watching those sales roll in, and then we know there were a couple times when I didn't have full control over my stage, basically, which is the studio. Next time around, I will be precise. And the way to measure what goes on and why I'm doing what I'm doing is you'll know that if someone stays on camera for 2 hours, it's because this freaking shopping cart is looking like a slot machine, okay? And if I put someone on and they're gone in 10 minutes, you know that's because they're a giant turd. Okay.
So then you literally tweaked how long you let guests stay on based on results.
I tweaked every single nuance, every single word I said, the format, the structure, and the replay. Based upon the sales.
Who had the best audience connection and the best sales?
Historically, it's always been Fireman Mike. Okay, yeah. And honestly, I'll tell you the best one this time. Our hero this time was Gene Scally. Okay, really? And I've been saying this forever, but in our next launch right now, and as we do our new our next project, which is going to be another Main Street release. Our team is we built a new department inside our company called the Irrefutable Proof Department, okay? That department's job is only to produce weekly training webinars and find and cultivate heroes, and my declaration is we're going to have 80% women on this time. On all of our live casts and webcasts, okay? This time around was an unfortunate sausage fest, and it was because we had too little time to cultivate what I thought were representative people and women who had definable results that were either new or fresh, or there were just definitely some challenges that we had to overcome, we had to be selective, and at the same time I had to bet on some sure things. It was like, but this next time I've developed a system and a process that I'll be able to share after we do the launch. I can't do it ahead of time because it is a massive competitive advantage. So I'm going to do this little mini pitch for you right now so you can see how I simplify it, and then I'm going to pass things over to Henry, and we're going to get our show on the road. So here it goes. and this is the way it works. So feel free, again, please comment, provide feedback. I want to make sure everyone can hear me right now, but basically, here's the other thing, just to wrap this all up. So what you'll notice I started doing, and I still didn't do it enough, okay? If you aren't constantly asking for the money, people ain't going to open up their wallets, all right? So the format and the formula needs to be mini interview, the kind of like the summary card, and then Q&A, and acknowledging the audience, starting to mention their names. Hey, thanks so-and-so for such and such. So-and-so from such and such says this. So that someone's going to sit there and go, maybe I'll be next. Maybe I'll be next. And I don't know if you remember Romper Room. Okay, this dates me, but Romper Room, the host would pull out their, it was like this big sucker. It was like a swirly sucker. It was basically a psychedelic acid trip thing, I think. But so that what they were doing is manipulating the minds of children and turning them into Charles Manson killers later on in life. That's just a theory. Anyway, what ended up happening is she would say, I see Johnny, and I see Jill, and I see Mikey, and I see Henry, I see Susan, I see Brian, I see Ellen, I see Jason, I see Kathleen, I see Sumit, et cetera, et cetera. So the whole idea is I mentioned names, right? So you're thinking it's maybe I'll be next. So acknowledgement is so huge. And look, you can't do that with TV, okay? So here's the basic pitch. And then, like I said,
about that is you've tweaked the infomercial for a live webcast. That format. That's really cool.
Yeah, it is massive. And again, I believe the next time around, I know how we can. It's my goal. Look, and I'll just say there are massive problems with doing launches. The key ones are credit processors hate it, banks hate it. There's all sorts of challenges with trying to get affiliates pulled together these days. They're becoming less and less powerful and popular amongst them. There's a big rub with them. The but, however, is I'd love to go out and do a $10 million launch, okay? That's just my ego, which would be fun as hell, but it is what it is, okay?
Very honest.
All right. So here's the basic pitch for you. So at this point, I'll have established, basically what is Cross-Channel Mojo. I'm just got to go up to the top one. And this is actually the front end I did a webinar with Perry Lawrence. So typically the format is some introductions. Someone's going to introduce you, talk about what's going on, blah, 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 blah. Little brand identification, and then just get right into it. What I'm going to share with you today is marketing plus technology plus done-for-you fill-in-the-blanks campaigns that take all the work out of marketing online and offline that translate into making money. And one of our customers said it better than I could, which is finally a real business in a button that actually came from Eric Currit. I thought it was fantastic. So the whole idea is when you've got Cross-Channel Mojo, you've got our Make It Go button, our fill-in-the-blank done-for-you marketing campaigns that are based on decades of effort and work and hundreds of thousands of dollars in research. It's going to make money for you. Doesn't matter what business you're in, anywhere in the world. So what I did is I cast a wide net, and that was an inclusionary statement. So this presentation today I'm going to give you is all about how to solve every business's number one challenge. I don't care what business you're in. I don't care if you're a chiropractor, if you're an author, expert, speaker, consultant, coach, you're a Main Street marketer. Notice I'm casting a wide net here. Your biggest challenge is you need more money, and you need it all the time. You've got to constantly have a stream of leads. You got to be communicating with those leads, turning them into prospects, and generating sales. And what Cross-Channel Mojo is all about is combining all those things together and automating the process so it runs for you 24/7, 365 without any hiccups. So the big question you might be asking yourself right now is, what is cross-channel marketing? Why does it matter, and why should you care? Well, here's the deal. It doesn't matter what business you're in. You've got to be constantly capturing leads. So let's just take, for example, the typical way people are capturing leads. And maybe if it's online, you might have a website. Well, you've got to be getting traffic. So if you have a website and you're writing articles and you're out posting videos and you're doing whatever it is to generate some traffic, you're going to be lucky if out of all that traffic, 20% of those people fill in a form on your website, okay? So one of the key ways that you build a list is with lead capture pages. And in our case, our system automatically generates done-for-you lead capture pages based on marketing best practices that have been proven to work. In fact, this particular lead capture page you're looking at right now, during our launch, generated a 56.7% opt-in rate, okay?
Huge.
Which is gigantic compared to normally about 20%. But the fact of the matter is if you're reliant on only one form of capturing leads, you're leaving a lot of money on the table. Now, another way that you can capture leads, this is a second channel, is with mobile text. So, for example, people could text their name and email address to subscribe to any campaign. So that's pretty good. Basic idea is if you have more than one channel, if you employ 2 lead capture channels, you'll probably increase the number of leads you get by 20 to 100%. But what if someone could call a phone number and say their name and email address? You theoretically would add another channel and get more leads. In fact, one of our clients and customers combined one other lead capture channel, which is QR codes. That's what these look like right now. In fact, if you just scan that, it would actually send you right to a web page. But what they use, this is at a restaurant. This is someone who was involved in our last launch. Her name is Sandra. She's a first-time user of our system. She worked with a restaurant and put up a table tent. Also, one of our clients, Susan Merlot, has been doing this with lots of restaurants. Notice how I did an inclusionary thing here. I mentioned someone who I know is on screen. Well, anyway, so what ends up happening is what they do is at a restaurant, they might have a discount club. They'll say, hey, if you text your name and email address, if you scan this QR code or join our list, I'll give you 10% off your bill right now, and you'll get regular discounts from us. Well, the bottom line is what Sandra found is she generated a third of her leads from people texting their name and email address, just under a third making the phone call, saying their name and email address, and the rest of them went from QR codes, effectively tripling the number of leads she generated. But that's not all. Of course, you can put up a blog or web form sign-up page. What if you could scan business cards? I talk to people all the time, and I say, hey, what happens when you go to a live event? You spend a bunch of money to go to a live event or a networking, a trade show, a convention. You get all these business cards. What usually happens to those cards? Well, they usually get rubber bindered up, sitting on your desk, staring at you, telling you what an idiot you are for not following up. And the reality is the value of those cards is reduced to about 0 in less than a week because people won't even remember who you are and why they reached out to you in the first place. Finally, email. People can subscribe by email. The bottom line here is the more channels you have to capture leads, the more money you're going to make. So if I told you right now that by employing cross-channel marketing and cross-channel lead acquisition, if you could triple the number of leads you make, you effectively triple the amount of money you make, just like that. But it gets better than that because building your list is just the first stage. Communicating is the next thing. Now, in the old days, we used email. And email is great. In fact, we built a business on it. We've built an 8-figure a year business that's generated 8 figures 2 years in a row now. But the problem with most email and autoresponders is they're one way. Ours is two-way. You can actually engage with your prospects and ask them questions. They can populate a database and simulate a conversation, effectively gathering more information. Because the more you know about a prospect, the more likely it is that you can communicate effectively with them and get them to know, like, and trust you. In fact, our system automatically goes out and researches your prospects for you, finds their Facebook, their LinkedIn, their Twitter address. It gathers their picture. It learns and figures out their age and their sex and where they live. And the more and their interests as well. And the more information you have on someone, the more likely it is that you can focus and target your message to them. So, two-way communication and the fact that you're researching means you can deliver a targeted message, increasing your sales dramatically. But here's something else that's really cool. We've found in our own studies and our own research that if you send out an email and you follow it up with a mobile text message and you tell someone, hey, I just sent you an email and it includes a cute coupon, a discount, or an offer, we increase the open rate of the email to 90%. Now, the reality is, talk to anyone who's doing email marketing today. unless they've got an amazing relationship with their list, they're getting between 8% and on the high end a 20% open rate, and they're getting around a 20% click-through rate. That means for every 1,000 messages you're sending out, probably 100 of them are getting opened, and maybe 30 or 20 actually get click-throughs. All right? That's pretty ugly, but it's the reality. So if you think for a moment that if you can triple the number of leads you get by adding cross-channel marketing to capture leads, and you communicate with more channels, and you increase the effectiveness of your deliverability by 5 times. We're not talking about just 5 times increase in sales. We're talking about a 15 times increase in sales. Well, what if you add voicemail to that? That's going to increase your sales and your communication that much more, because 80% of voicemails get opened and listened to. Well, what about letters? Okay, so our system will also deliver letters and postcards, audio emails, and video emails. The bottom line is the more channels you use to communicate with your prospects, the more you're going to sell. Well, next we've got selling and closing. Let's get real about what happens online. If you have a sales page, okay, a traditional sales letter online, the conversion rate of one of those is what, Henry, in your experience? A bad one and a good one?
Bad 0, good 1 to 2%.
All right.
If that.
Yep, exactly. The typical you see is 1/3 of 1% all the way up to 3%.
Yep.
So what people have found who run live teleseminars and live webinars is their sales are typically anywhere from 5 to 25%. What's your experience been, Henry?
Yeah, 15 to 20% is typical. Now that's assuming you know how to put together a good webinar too. So people that aren't good at that, again, it can go down to 0.
Yep.
So yeah, 15 to 20, 25 on the high end.
Well, if I gave you a template that's been generating millions of dollars for the past 6 years to fill in the blanks for your teleseminar webinar, do you think you could probably sell something?
Hell yeah.
That's included with Cross-Channel Mojo. Okay, so here's what I did. When I'm doing a teleseminar webinar and I'm being interviewed, I engage with the interviewer, and when I'm doing it in a live webcast, I'm doing the same thing. I'm engaging. They're going to provide some social proof and backing. Now, here's what's important with this. So if I told you, look, if you could increase the number of leads you get by 20% to 300% by adding more capture channels, do you think you'd increase your sales by 20% to 300%? Of course you would. Mm-hmm. Now, if I increase the effectiveness of your communication, I delivered your message 5 times as high, just that alone would increase your profit 5 times. But remember, we're talking about 3 times 5. You're talking about 15 times already. Yeah. Now, if your sales, in the old days, were at 1%, let's say, for a traditional sales letter, but I said I'm going to get that up 10 times to 20 times higher, what's going to happen to your numbers? You're talking about cross-channel could increase your sales by, on the low end, probably 25%. On the high end, 25 times what you're doing or more. But there are more sales channels you can employ. Evergreen teleseminars, evergreen webinars. That basically means people can register, and these things run for you. They feel like they're live. They're simulated live, but they run 24/7, 365. They can be scheduled to run once a day, once a week, once a month, 3 times a day, whatever you program them for. Also, doing webcasts or live casts like we do. Now, I can speak from experience here that one of our last webcasts, I generated $3 million in sales in 1 day. I know for a fact they work, and I've got the formula for that. Next are on-demand teleseminars and on-demand webinars. That means the moment someone registers, you allow them to watch your event live or simulated live or just watch the video, but you track the behavior, meaning they either watch it or they don't, so you can send them a reminder, hey, I noticed you didn't watch it, or if they finish or they leave early, you can say, I noticed you left early, make sure you check it out again, and basically bother them over and over again until they decide to watch it. And if it completes, you not only notify your sales team that someone finished watching your video so you can follow up with them, but you can also follow up and summarize the offer in an email and then mention that in a mobile text and even send them a voicemail. So the power across channel is the more channels you use, the more money you make, and that's what we call the leverage multiplier effect. All right, I'll give you one last thing. This is something that happened over and over again. But while I was doing the webinar with, in this case, Perry Lawrence, who's a friend of mine, who actually his live webinar just ran today. Actually, it's a simulated live webinar. We used an evergreen. We've got it programmed. while I was on the screen, I actually demonstrated Instant Customer, and I built a campaign for him and showed a QR code like this one. And so here's what I did. So far, I'm just going to take a moment and say that's basically the pitch, which I believe took probably just now. I probably ran that for around, let's say probably 10 minutes or 12 minutes.
10, 12.
I could do it in 7 or 8, but that's the hook. Now I'm going to show you one other thing that I did with him that blew him away, and this is the live proof. Nothing beats live proof. And one of them is when you've got interactivity like this, the beauty of Instant Customer Course is it lends itself to instantaneous feedback. So someone joins and they automatically get the email, the mobile text, and the voicemail. They're like, holy crap, especially if they're scanning with a QR code. And but I'm going to log in and I'm going to demonstrate the system, and this is what I did with him. And it blew his mind. And again, nothing beats social proof. So I'll run that for you right now. And just, again, if you can do this in your own business, you're going to crush. You're going to sell like freaking hotcakes. So here's what we do. So Ellen just said, I haven't used the webinar feature yet, but I'm wondering where we're not using it today. Okay, so here's the thing, Ellen, just so you know, our live webinar feature right now has got some flaws. And I'm not going to use it. I'm not going to release it until we've got the bugs out. But we've got a partner who's been developing that. And if they don't have it fixed shortly, we're going to fire them. Okay? So the answer to that is I'm not going to sell or use something that doesn't work properly. It's I'm not going to make us look bad or not provide anything that's supportive. So there we go. Laugh out loud. That's totally cool, Ellen. So here's the deal. This is what I demonstrated to Perry. Check this out. So I say, hey, Perry, do you ever go to live events? Of course you do. All right. Actually, I'll say, Henry, do you go to live events?
Yes, I do.
Great. So what if I showed you? I'm going to select from the template gallery. You could do this for you or your client. This is one of our first campaigns. It's called Networking Without a Business Card. I click on Select, okay, and it automatically, I'm going to give it a name, and I'm going to call it the Henry Evans Glad to Meet You campaign, okay? So, of course, I could, whatever your name is, it automatically populates all of your information in the first part here. I'll just leave my stuff in here. Now, if I want to automatically insert my social media information, it pre-populates it based on my profile, okay? Down here I say, hey, I want to research every prospect that gets joined, so it gathers their picture, it finds them on Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, visits their website, scrapes it. Now I want to assign a phone number. Well, I can either assign one of my own that I already have allocated, or I don't know if I could probably see if Henry is available. Okay. I don't know if there is a Henry available, but I'm going to do this. The thing.
Oh, literally
Look
my
at that.
name?
Literally, you could get your own vanity phone number right here that has Henry inside it.
That's
cool. Kind of badass, isn't it? Or if you're in another country, you're going to be presenting on stage in another country. We've got over 35 different countries to pick from. So if you're going to be presenting in the UK, boom, you pick a UK phone number. People can text their name and email address right there. We'll stick with our phone number alone right now. Hit continue. Also, do you want to record a greeting? In other words, do you want someone to be able to listen to an incoming audio? Hey, this is Henry Evans. Glad you called. I'd love to send you a free video that outlines how I can help you make more money online doing blah, 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 blah. Just say your name and email address after the beep. Otherwise, there's a default one in there. Another thing you can say is, do you want to be notified every time someone either calls or joins your list? In fact, if they call and talk, it'll attach the audio and their transcription. Also, you can get notified by text. This is the moment someone joins. Okay? So the next one is, okay, this customizes the entire campaign. So who's your target audiences? Well, I help small businesses. Great. Generate more leads online. More leads. Okay, we can just say generate more leads. And what circumstance do you help the audience overcome? They know nothing about the internet and don't have a website. Okay, great. What's the subject of your, we can call it marketing optimization. Again, I'm just pulling this out of my rear end.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And what else might we add here? It'll say, What do you call your products or services? What do you call them?
No, it's called Geyser Kennedy.
Clay?
GKIC Marketing.
Okay. GKIC Marketing. Okay. Great. And then, okay, we save and exit. Now check this out. This is the coolest effing thing ever. So just like that, it built this badass campaign for you. And what's it got? It's got a QR code. Check this out. It just built this super awesome website for you.
Wow.
Who wants to generate more leads? Hi, I'm in here. Like most people, I need to start da-da-da. And you can drop in your benefits right here. If you want to drop in a sign-up video, you drop it in. It's already ready to capture leads for you. Okay, that's pretty cool. So one of the channels is taken care of. But check this out. You click on QR code. And I don't know if anyone here has got their QR code reader. I'm going to call this, we'll call this the Henry Biz Card. And you can do SMS, okay? So you'll say, replace this text with your name and email address. Okay, so I'm going to save the QR code. So that is the QR code that you put on your business card. Now I'm going to bring this up. Do you have your QR code scanner software?
Yep.
Okay. So just scan that, and anyone who's out there, scan that. I'm going to bring up my QR code reader, and this is what Perry on the live call did. So I'm bringing up mine right now. I have OptiScan, so I'm going to do QR. There it is. OptiScan is the one. Okay, I'm pointing this thing right now at the screen, and literally in 1 second it came up, and it. Did you see that?
Yeah.
It says replace this text with your name. So the whole thing is it tells you what to do. That's pretty badass. So now, here's what's super cool. If you wanted to, now that one you'd put on your business card, but let's say you're sending out a postcard or a letter or doing a sign at a trade show. Well, you'd create a new QR code. We'll call this the Henry
postcard.
Postcard. Okay, and we could do either a Go link, which would go to your web page, the SMS, which would generate the text, and generate a phone call, or generate an email that you pre-populate for them, okay? But in this case, you might do a Go link, which will go right to your lead capture page or whatever. You save that. Now that QR code, it tracks how many leads that one generates. You can generate as many QR codes as you want for that campaign. Okay, that's pretty badass. So that's 2 channels.
That's great.
Okay.
But
now,
you know where it's coming from.
Totally.
Is the key. Yeah.
Now, you can text your name and email address to the phone number. That's the 3rd channel. You can call the toll-free phone number or call that phone number now and say your name and email address. How many channels is that?
3.
Yep. Okay. You got your web form URL that you can paste on your web page. Okay. That's it. Okay. So we got a web page that it generated, the lead capture page, a toll-free phone number, a regular phone number, QR code. Okay. Text your name and email address. You got your web page URL. That's 6 channels already. All right. Also it generates an email address, and you can do a vanity email address as well. So the whole point is, and then you can go back and modify this anytime you want. And as what will happen here, I'm not going to bring up too many. Well, I guess for everyone here, I can do this real fast. I can show you one of my campaigns, one that I can demonstrate. I'm going to do this quickly so I don't show off anything. Okay, I'll do this one here. This is my how I lost 17 pounds. Now check this out. So I can see I have 354 subscribers for one of these campaigns. I'm running a couple of them. 48 came from SMS. 299 filled in the form. I have 56 of them have Facebook data, 47 Twitter data, 24 LinkedIn. So did research on them. Okay. I want to check out the subscribers. If I go here, I can view the influential subscribers. Check this out. So it goes out and it finds pictures of all these people. Okay.
There's Gina.
Is Gina in there?
Yeah.
Okay. So if I wanted to examine their data, okay, I got their photo. I know what his email address is. I know his metro area, cell phone, time zone, his age range, his sex, okay? Grabbed his Facebook, his LinkedIn, and his Twitter alias. I have his interests, his social score, okay? Got his website, and look at that. Windfall Adventures, categories below, okay? So it's grabbed his website. data, at least what it could find. Okay, that's all from an email address. Okay, not too shabby.
That's really cool, man.
Oh, it's
That's
better
really
than cool.
cool.
It's badass. All right, it's seriously badass. Now, if we wanted to, like if I were speaking live at a live event, I can click on this link right here, and if I wanted to pick, I'm going to give away 5, let's say, bungee cord weight loss doodads. I hit process raffle, and wham, bam, thank you, man. It picked the 5 people, and if I click on a link here, it'll actually notify all of them by mobile text that they won something. So, all right. So now I've been obviously doing this big long thing, but the whole deal is, why am I going through all this? It's not to pitch you something because you guys already got the product. I wanted to just demonstrate that the key to selling is demonstrate your shit, make sure it works, and be enthusiastic. Now, I can't help but be enthusiastic because I think it's the coolest damn thing I've ever made. There we go. And let's see. Okay. I don't know if there's anything else to say about this, but what I'm going to do, I think, is pass over control to you, Henry.
Cool. Sounds
good.
good.
And you can talk for a little while.
Then we'll do some hot
bring
seats.
up some notes. Yeah, and then we'll do some hot seats. So if you have any questions about the process, I invite you to post them, and we'll be taking notes. And I'm gonna quit saying "and." All
right, sounds good. So, thanks everybody for joining us and getting on the webinar today. So, just a couple of quick things. First off is we are going to be meeting later this month out here in San Diego. I believe Megan already sent an email off to everybody. If she hasn't, she will be soon, just to verify your attendance and your coming and all that good stuff, just to make sure. We're actually going to do something really fun for dinner since we kind of got robbed last time with our blackout. So it's actually going to be a lot of fun. We're going to have a really good time. So look forward to seeing everybody in person. And, we really wanted to do this kind of, this particular webinar today was to focus on 2012 and helping you and setting your goals for 2012. So what I want to do is share a little bit of how I set goals and some of the specific things that you can take and use for yourself. And we will go through a specific goal setting exercise when we get together, when everybody's out here later this month. But I really want to walk you through a couple things that I figured out over the last year, which has helped an absolute ton. So I'll kind of share what I'm doing on the goal front, and then I'll actually have Mike share kind of what he's doing on the goal front, and he's done a lot of goal setting as well, and not just goal setting, but goal achieving, which is really what it's all about. So I'm going to go ahead and share some specifics here, and then after that, anybody who would like to do a hot seat, we would love to have you volunteer. All you got to do is just put yourself in, just type in a question there and just say, I want to do a hot seat, and then we will basically unmute you. And that was really the purpose of this call, was to allow people to have hot seats who wanted them. But I think the goals are going to be really relevant. And then I hope you took notes with what Mike just went through. Those are some really good lessons from in the trenches on selling, and very, very important, the things that Mike went through there. So on goal setting, I actually got this, I believe, from Bill Geyser originally, but I've heard several other people say it. So you hear a lot about goals and resolutions. I prefer not to use resolutions because most of the time those are set for failure from the get-go. My friend Ed Rush, who spoke last time, you probably remember, he actually calls goals targets, since he's used to blowing things up in an F-18. So he calls them targets. I call them goals. Whatever you want to call them, same deal. So here are really 5 things that I think you have to have when you set goals in order to achieve them. And then I'm going to give you the biggest trick that I've gotten that I used last year, and I hit a goal that was a lot higher than I thought I could, and I hit it. And I'm convinced that a lot of it had to do with how I actually looked at the goal and saw and visualized the goal during the year, and I'll share how I did that. So these 5 things specifically, and you may have heard this before, doesn't mean that you can't get something out of it when you hear this, so definitely write these down, and let me go through them. So this all comes from the word SMART, S-M-A-R-T, and so I first heard this from Bill Geyser, but I've heard it from other people too. So let me walk through what these 5 things are here. So, and yeah, I can go ahead and type those in there too, Mike.
Or we can copy them.
Yeah, we can copy them in
you
too.
Want to give me permission to that document? I'll copy paste it in.
I certainly will. Hang on 1 second here. Let me send that. Well, here, I'll just post it up in here. Let me just send it over to you.
Just emailing it, or are you pasting it? Okay.
I'm going to send you a chat.
Great.
Just put it right in there. If that works.
That'd be perfect.
Message here. There we go. Okay, so Mike's going to type that in there. Thanks, Mike. So the first thing when you're looking at setting goals, and if you use this acronym SMART, this is every goal that you set ought to follow these 5 rules or guidelines, if you will. The first one is SMART, which means it needs to be specific. And specific means that it can't be something general. So if you say, I want to lose weight or make a lot of money or get rich or something like that, that doesn't mean anything because it's not specific. So the first thing is you look at your goals for this year, go back through and make them specific. So if one of your goals is to lose weight, it's a heck of a lot better if you say, I want to weigh 179 lean pounds with a 12% body fat. That's a goal. Lose weight and look lean and toned, that's really not a goal that's specific. So it's harder to get to it when you're not specific. So that's the first one. The second one is measurable, and this is the M in the word SMART. So this is related to the specific because it's got to be something that you know exactly what it is, and it's got to be something you can measure. So if your goal is to lose weight, you can actually measure that because you can say, I weighed 195 pounds today, and next week I weighed 193 pounds, and then 191. So it's a measurable goal, which is one of the reasons why if you're not diligently tracking your numbers, and when I say numbers, I mean numbers from Google Analytics, numbers from your sales, numbers of leads, numbers of opt-ins, all those numbers, if you're not diligently tracking those, then it's really hard to make them grow. And I guarantee you, if you take one idea out of this call, which is every week, look at all of your numbers. So my numbers I look at every week. I look at how many leads did I get, how many people are signed up for my meetings, how many dollars went through, how many orders are associated with those dollars, and then I look at what's coming up. I also look at the Google Analytics traffic and all those numbers too. So you have to make it at least a weekly practice. Everybody I know that's really successful, they live and die by the numbers. So one or two of the best ways to do that is to have somebody put together a one-page report that you can review. Another thing that I do, which I know Mike has as well, is you set up a dashboard. So whether you use Salesforce.com or Infusionsoft or whatever you happen to use, set up a dashboard. And really the one that Mike just showed us inside of Instant Customer with that cool wheel, that's really what that is. That's really a dashboard for the success of that campaign. So that's the second one, is measurable.
Copy all of them into that window and I'll paste them in.
Yeah,
Your notes.
they're all there.
That one?
They're all there. Yep, I just didn't space them all out. So the next one, number 3, which is the A in SMART, is attainable. So what I like to say here is that it needs to be something that you can actually achieve, but it should be a stretch. So if this year you made $50,000 and you set a goal to make $100,000 next year, that's probably a pretty good goal. If you made $50,000 and your goal is to make $5 million, probably going to be a little unattainable. Not saying it can't happen. There's a great phenomenon that Dan Kennedy coined called the phenomenon, which is basically when you make more in 12 months than you have in the past 12 years. So those do happen, but you just want to set a goal and know where it's going to come from. So with that attainable too, so say your goal is to make $100,000 this year, and I actually did this exercise with one of the people on the call today, and you have to actually break that out. So if you want to make $100,000, let's just round it and say it's $9,000 per month, 30 days in a month, or 20, let's say 20 business days. So you divide 9,000 by 20. So how much do you need to make per day? And whatever that number is, guess what you need to be striving for every single day. And that's why measuring this stuff every single week is critical, so you know how you're doing relevant to your goal. So that's the third one, is attainable. Fourth one is relevant. If being healthy and being fit is not a overall purpose of yours and you don't really value that, it's going to be hard to achieve a goal that is talking about that. So you need to have something that's relevant and feeds into your greater purpose and what you want to do with your greater vision for you and for your business. And then the last one, which is my personal favorite, which is time-bound. So if there's no deadline, there's no offer. So anytime you do any marketing or advertising, if you don't have a deadline, then you don't actually have an offer. And the same thing applies with a goal. If you don't know what you're going to set, specific, measurable, attainable goal that's relevant to what you want to do, and if you don't set a time frame for it, the odds of it happening are really, really slim. So if, for example, you want to get from $100,000 to $200,000, and if you just set that goal, your subconscious might be working at that for that to happen by the year 2050. However, if you say this year, this exact year, I want to make double and I want to go from $100,000 to $200,000, that's specific and that's time bound. That's really, really important. So anytime you set a goal or anytime you're thinking about goal setting, this is, and there's a million different ways to do it. No way is right or wrong. But I find that going with this SMART acronym always gets me on the right track. And so I try to go back and set my goals in the SMART acronym. So I hope that was helpful to people. And then two other quick things I want to share on the goal setting side. The next one, let me actually type it on the list here because it's not on here yet. This next one has to do with reviewing your goals and how many goals you should have. I'm a big believer, and I learned this from Matt Fury. I was in his mastermind group, which was fantastic, and he talks about having your top 10 goal list. Now, I've done this challenge in meetings that I've spoken to, 50, 100 people in the room, and oftentimes it's one or two people in the room. You'll get half the people that have read Think and Grow Rich, but literally there's one or two people in the room that actually have their goals written in person on them right then and there. And oftentimes I'll, kick some money to the people or, books or some kind of reward for those who actually have their goals with them and in written format. What Matt Fury said, and this is a real nice low-tech option, is get a 3x5 card and write your top 10 goals on that. Keep it in your wallet, keep it in your pocket, keep it in your purse, and then review that at least 3 times a day. Once when you wake up in the morning, once in the evening before you go to bed, and once in the middle of the day. And when you do this, it really internalizes what those goals are. So this is a real simple thing you can do is actually have your list of top 10 goals for the year and then make sure to review them often. The more times you review them, the better off you're going to be. And then the last thing here, which is it's kind of related to the top 10 but a little bit different, but you want to post up whatever your primary goal is. So if your goal is to make $200,000 in sales for this year or $200,000 in personal revenue this year, I would have a big 200,000 written and right above your computer monitor so you look at it every single day. I'd have it as the desktop background on your laptop or on your computer, and I would have it in my wallet. I would have it on the wall when I got up out of bed. I'd have it when I look and I'm brushing my teeth or shaving. Hopefully you guys are getting the gift packages in the mail. I know some of you have. Some of you might not have yet, but that's a great place to put it too. I don't want to spoil it if you haven't gotten that gift yet. But post it up where you see it on a regular basis, time and time again. So I'll actually share mine. That I set last year. I set the goal to make $1 million last year, which was kind of a big, hairy, audacious goal, more than 3 times the previous, well, about 3 times the previous year. And I looked at it every day. I had it posted up, had it over my computer monitor, had it on my wall, looked at it in my wallet, and it actually worked, and it actually happened. So this stuff really, really works if you review it and look at it and take this seriously. So I hope that was really helpful for some people. Yep, and I lie too. You just figured that out. No, but it is true. In regards to goals, I don't lie about those. So this is really important stuff. So let's have Mike talk about his goals here for a couple minutes, and then we'll go ahead and open it up to those people who, again, this is up to you guys. If you want to do a hot seat, it's completely up to you. If you want to share what your big, hairy, audacious goal is for 2012, would love to hear that. Just, again, type in there that you want to do a hot seat. Mike will add you to the list here. So let's hear Mike's strategies for getting stuff done and goal setting.
All right. Howdy-ho. All right, here we go. So, I'm not as, you know what, I used to have a real process to this. It's interesting, I was listening to Henry, and my process these days is pretty simple. I'm a big fan of, as you can see here, of using Google Docs. I have gazillions of docs now, and I do everything inside there because I actually have three laptops that I work on and 2 desktop computers. So, like, I'm constantly going between things and all my gadgets and gadgets, and I want to make sure everything's there. Evernote is great. I actually quit using it. I don't remember why. I had sync problems sometimes. I'm like, screw this. But it's fantastic. So, yeah, use Google Docs or Evernote for the tools. But here's what I do every single day. I sit down and I write a list of outcomes I want to accomplish, and then I sort by order of value, okay? I think that's really important. And then I ask myself a few simple questions, which are, who can do this for me, okay? Which is a matter of leverage, okay? And then, what is the value? So I want to get really clear on is it short term? Is it long term? Is it survival? Is it strategic? So, and I don't really write that down anymore because I'm good enough at figuring that out. But just knowing if it's strategic or tactical. And then the tools, resources, and money required. And then the time. And then I ask some Pareto, E-T-T-O. I believe it's Pareto. Yeah, so if you don't know Pareto, he's the 80-20 principle dude, right? And what I've been finding forever is, the fact of the matter is, success and imperfection are one and the same. Now, there's an exception to that, which is from a marketing perspective, details matter and details are everything. The reason why most people can't sell to save their lives and they're broke all the time is because they're absolutely constantly doing stupid crap. They're wasting their time on stupid stuff, or they're focused on the wrong things. And that just comes from either experience or being able to see life through a clear mirror and know and modeling the best, which is another one. What can I model, borrow, or frankly just steal in terms of something that's been done before? And then I also look at it, and this is another, it's a very important lesson in your ego, but it is, what's my history? My history of success with this thing, okay? In other words, if you've tried doing this over and over and over again, and you've failed over and over and over again, past history is what's the phrase? Something of success. It's an indicator of future success.
Yes. Yep.
The whole point is, don't lie to yourself, okay? You just got to be honest about what's probable, what's possible, and whether or not you're going to get anywhere. So I would just highly, highly recommend that you look at it from that point of view. But basically, the secret to all of my successes has been learning the value of leverage, and I can't tell you how many times I can get 80% of something done with a very, very small amount of effort on my side, and it's when I lose sight of this that I'm screwing myself. And so basically that's all I do. I also carry around, I'm a big fan of carrying around a notebook with me, and I've been miserable at this lately. Part of it's because I've been in such a deep, tight tactical mode in order to execute inside the business here. I'll announce some of the big things that have been happening in the next month or at our next meeting. But we've just been at a point where it's just been, show up and get stuff done. And I've also brought in an outside CEO who's helping us reorganize the entire company. I'm also brought in someone to, help with some financial stuff and accept their support and help, because our next phase, one of my big goals is what's it going to take to build a $100 million company. Okay. And, we've been sitting 2 years in a row, exceeded 10 million in sales, which has been really, I get, it's sort of like I got to pinch myself, I suppose. But, at the same time, you hit that point and the amount of resources and strategy necessary to make a company with that kind of revenue profitable, it's like the honest reality is it's a lot easier to have a much more profitable percentage-wise business at $1 million to $3 million bucks. It's 10 times easier, in fact. Okay, so you got to be careful what you want, because the difference between 3 million and 10 or 12 million or 13 million in sales is systems and processes, and I have to kick myself because that also means you've got to have mid-management, which is expensive overhead. And, now I have to, I have to sit back and say, you know what? I don't know jack squat about a lot of things, and I've got to bring in some professionals. So the guys that we brought in to help us have either raised money for, or they've taken businesses from 1 million to 100 million in sales in 2 years or less. And it means taking the ego, putting it in the trunk, and listening and accepting their truth and doing a lot of inner work. The distinction and what I've found with all this goal setting and accomplishing more is it has more to do with accepting the fact that you don't know something, and it's about ego management. It's not about doing anymore. It is about accepting truth and also taking good advice. And that's the other big thing I've learned. And again, it fits into this, which is I've taken a lot of bad advice from a lot of people that's cost me small fortunes. So, you look around sometimes, you're like, you know what? There's a whole bunch of people surrounding you who have have basically taken 5 times as much money from you. And I'm not saying this in a nasty way, but it's just like you got to be careful about it. Then you've pulled yourself. And you're like, what in the hell am I doing here? So, and part of that, again, is it's the growth process. So I don't know if that was useful or not, but some big lessons learned. So how about we do some masterminds? Is there anything, I'm going to just check some comments and see if there's anything. Pareto, there we go. I spelled it wrong. Pareto. Okay, thank you, Susan, for that. Pareto. And, okay, so anyone else that wants to go next, so what we're going to do is we're going to bring up Ellen. All I ask you to do is please make sure your audio is working properly. When I unmute you, you turn your speakers off and that you are using headphones, not your speaker. Otherwise, you're going to have all sorts of icky noise. And what else do I have to remember? I think that's the main one. I guess we'll wing it here. So I am going to unmute Ellen right now, and hopefully you're on. Here we go, Ellen. Are you there, Ms. Feinberg?
I am, and I have a headset on, but not a
You sound
microphone.
perfect. You sound fine.
Okay.
The beauty of these days is the microphones built into laptops is getting so good. It's surprising. Really good. I still always recommend, if you ever get yourself the ultimate little microphone, get yourself a Yeti. They're about $100 bucks on Amazon. And oh, by the way, I'll make sure that this document gets shared with everyone. I'm going to share it with Henry right now. And he'll share this with everyone else on the call, so you have the notes and can tweak them and all that. Okay. So, Ellen, how can we help you achieve your wildest, greatest dreams here in 2012? And how the heck are you?
I'm great. Henry gave me a pep talk yesterday. That was very helpful.
Fantastic. Good. He's back here. I was going to say juggling, but he's giggling in the back. Yes.
I hear him. So, okay, I'm kind of back to where I started back in June with that email software product. I kind of moved away from that, but I sort of recently got reunited with the person who owns that product and company.
Yep.
So just as a little refresher, it's a software product that works in Outlook or on the web or webmail, and it allows you to send large attachments securely, quickly. The server sits on your own system, so it's not out there in the cloud, etc. So my question around it is, like, just really starting to market it, that there's a couple approaches that I would see. Like, should I market based on feature or market based on market?
What's the site again?
Yeah, what's the site? We'll go there real fast.
Okay, it's not looking all that pretty, but it's DIFIX. .com. I think you need the www. It goes
okay.
It goes there.
Hey,
I don't know. Yeah.
You got to tell them to resolve their dub. They've got to do that.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, here's what I'm going to tell you. I happen to know a few things about this since the last time we talked about this. So,
okay.
I would, gosh, yeah, this thing needs some help. All right, so I'm going to just give you my gut on this. You know, the company that already won this business is Dropbox. I believe it's Dropbox. Even though I know this isn't a direct competitor, these are the guys who won it. Look at that website.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
See that?
I know.
Okay, now let's look at this other website.
Into the fire on that one. I know.
It looks like a lot of work.
That part I know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I would. Okay, so go ahead and ask your question, but I think I might be answering it.
Okay. So besides the website, because I'm 100% there with you, and I've gone back and forth, and it's not my doing, right? But I'm thinking, okay, the website isn't what I would like it to look like, but if I market it and if I'm using the capture pages and other things, I can make that very simple and clean. So the question is, if I'm starting that, do I go after some of the features and like use the SEO and focus on benefits of what this can do, and maybe why is it different than Dropbox? Because it's not Dropbox; it's a different product. It's for a different market. So this is because sitting, all your files are sitting on your server, not on Dropbox's server out there, right?
Yeah.
So for companies, lawyers, legal, insurance, finance. Okay. So the question is, do you try to market it based on those benefits and hope that people find it, or do you market it based on your market benefits?
Okay, all right. So basically, sits on your servers, so it's secure and not on someone else's cloud, right?
Right.
Okay. Well, here's what I would do is I would probably survey existing customers, find out why they bought and why they stick, okay? And I'd focus on that, all right? Because it's all based on what's working and what has worked. Again, it's a history thing. And again, this is so much stuff, and I like this. You don't have to do this anymore. You don't have to do this anymore. Nothing beats a good story, right? And
John used Dropbox and John got screwed. That kind of
yeah. That's what Henry was saying here. John used Dropbox and John got screwed. But I would I'm going to share a script with you as part of the mastermind. I have I'm going to populate something here. So give me a second. I can't show all my documents. But give me a second here. I'm going to okay, here it is. I'm going to give you a very I think it's one of the best scripts I've ever written in my life. Okay. And I'm going to populate it inside here as a gift to you. And all right. So give me one moment. And so you'll get this. And let's see there, and paste. Now, all I ask is that you keep this private, confidential, because this is something that has not been released yet. But this is a script that I wrote for Instant Customer when we reopen it in a while, and I have a full-on campaign scheduled. And now I'm going to pre-frame this for you by saying this appeals to our audience. You have to find what appeals to their audience, which requires some understanding of who their customers are.
This is why I started with the survey.
Yep.
Okay.
And if the customer would pay for it, do you know how many customers they have right now?
I don't think there's a lot because he had an exclusive agreement with one company and he wasn't able to market it, even though he developed it back in like 2003.
Blech. Okay.
So a handful of companies. Yeah.
All right. Well, just make sure you don't take equity in lieu of getting paid, because my guess is, the chances of him succeeding are reasonably low because there's just too much competition. But maybe not. Okay. But here's the bottom line. I will, again, confidentially send you a video of me performing this script.
Okay.
And Mike will put a link here, all right? But here's the deal. What you need to do is tell a damn good story. Damn good story to each avatar. And you know what we mean when we say an avatar, right?
Yes.
Okay. And it has to be benefits driven, and you got to sell the dream. And you got to do it in 7 minutes or less, okay? Now, I'll give you another model to look at, which is HubSpot.
Mm-hmm.
Have you watched their little intro video?
Yes.
Okay.
I'll watch it again because.
All right, good.
That I have.
Basecamp has a good one too, is what Henry said. So here's the deal.
Okay.
This is a pretty darn good story. It's a little too cutesy for my liking. The but, however, is I know these guys just raised. It was either $43 or $63 million. I think they got 40. Yeah, it's either 43 or 63. And then those weirdos at Dropbox got something like 60 million bucks. All right,
Yeah.
which basically means they told a damn good story to an audience, and the audience is buying their shit. All right, it's as simple as that.
Yeah.
So, and you can go to I got to think of. There's an online company. I don't know. What's this guy willing to spend to tell his story and get his act together?
He needs to sell some of it first or get investors, so I'm not really sure.
All right.
He needs to go give it away to some people to get some stories.
All right.
Yeah, I think he would definitely do that, Henry.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think that would be smart.
Yeah. So
Mhm.
so yeah, I would. Again, none of this has to be magical. So I'm gonna do. I'm gonna show you something else. Now, this is again just like a little cute little thing. I need Henry. Can you grab in my bag, my man purse over here? I've got my little. No, not that. It's inside. There is my other MacBook Air. I'm gonna show something to you just for giggles and shits. I've been swearing today. How's that feel? Is that okay?
Is that your new thing this year?
It's my new thing. I'm gonna swear more. Okay. But Henry's gonna grab something. I'm gonna show you that one. A little thing that I made with my little boy Zach, literally in 10 minutes using Keynote, just to illustrate a point. Okay. Because he doesn't need a big budget, but he needs some script writing here. And you could model what I've given you to tell the story. And again, all you got to do is just fill it full of a couple of benefits. My little boy, Zach, He's 9 years old, and he has completely connected with the idea that he loves the fact that I used to design games, okay? And so now he's decided he wants to be a game designer, which is fantastic.
That's cool.
And he's drawing pictures, and for a while he was drawing comic books and stuff like that too. So, I got one thing I'll have you do, Henry, is if you would, let me just make sure that this is working. I'm juggling USB drives right now, which is very enjoyable and fun for all the kids. But I'm going to play a little thing that he and I did because he decided he wanted to develop video games, and I'm like, well, you're going to have to understand then that that means you need to design. So put that on the back of there's a USB on the back of the big monitor. Okay, so so I basically sat down with a little Wacom tablet, and we sketched together, and I had him draw, and we whipped up a little presentation. And I'm telling you, years ago, I made a small. Did it plug in?
No, they're all used.
Okay, find one that isn't being used. Okay, good. So he so we whipped this up, and I drew some stuff, and we just did sound effects out of our mouths together. But I used to literally make $10,000 sales presentations in a day using this exact strategy. And it was one of those things where I did it, and I'm like, damn, why don't I do that more? So I don't know how well this will animate, but I want to just illustrate a point, and it goes in line with something that I promised is something I'm delivering inside Cross Channel Mojo, which you get. And I say you can have anything you want in life, for including $1 million if you understand how to use Keynote. So watch what happens on the screen. I don't know how well it'll animate. The replay should work.
You can see it on mine here. There's anything yet.
Okay, nothing yet because it's being a bastard. Come on. All right, so do you see that? The Adventures of Dude, all right. And then the next thing is there's Dude, and he fell down, if you didn't see it, and there's smoke and stuff. And then, okay, so we get introduced to our character. This is Dude, and and then he zips off the screen, and then the text flies off the screen. And then basically I said, hey, Zach, what do you want to happen? He says, well, he needs to crash into a tree. So I just show how he moves across the screen and crashes into a tree. And that's the end of the movie, okay? So it's super stupid simple, but the whole point is Keynote has these great animation features built in. I mean, they're really easy, and to use. And I have to be able to quit out of Keynote here. It's being a giant turd. That literally took like 5 minutes to do, okay? And
just so everybody knows, it was actually very smooth. It was a little.
Yeah, it'll animate fine. It's just
it was really neat.
My turd computer's being a turd. Just a second here. Huh. All right.
Show button.
Yeah. All right.
One other thing too, Ellen, I mean, that you can do, I mean, which I kind of mentioned is if you can give away free copies of that software to your target customers, which I'm kind of thinking is companies of anywhere from 10 to 50 people. I think that's going to be your sweet spot. And there are already IT guys out there. Like I have an IT guy who comes to my local meetings, and he focuses on companies from, I mean, he's really more like 10 to 100. But you basically find somebody that already has an existing relationship with those clients and say, hey, look, we have a software. It's a security software for sending attachments. It retails at $3,000 or whatever the normal price is. We're looking for a couple of companies to use it and give us feedback in exchange for a free license. Here's the presentation. And I think you could get several people signed up, and then you have stories put on your website. And that's what Mike was getting at. Which it's so important to sell via story. So that's something I would definitely do.
Okay. Yeah, and I'm sure he's willing to do all that.
All right.
Yeah, I mean, and the best part is that doesn't cost anything either, which is nice.
Right. Exactly. So.
Yeah. So I would definitely do that.
So for some reason, my super awesome computer isn't letting me exit ScreenFlow or Keynote now.
Maybe stop sharing your screen with GoToWebinar. Maybe that's somehow like locking it.
I don't know. Just 1 second here. We'll see if it. Oops. Nope. God dang it. I've never had that happen before, but this is awesome. All right, here's what I'm going to do, Henry.
Taking over.
Henry is going to show his screen, and he's going to type up notes now because my thing's being a giant turd. So, oh, there we go. Awesome. Yeah, it looks like it's...
They call it a giant turd. And then
GoToWebinar was awesome. So just for the record, GoToWebinar sucks, and I hate it.
Yeah,
okay,
we've
so
got 3 more masterminders here.
great. Yeah, we went a little long, but I guess the
Okay.
key, Ellen, in my opinion, just to simplify, is I've said this for years. You don't have a marketing problem; you have a storytelling problem. The reason why this guy isn't selling anything right now is because A, no one knows about him. B,
Right.
it's all kind. I mean, it's just like, ugh. It just looks like an engineer with a whole bunch of details decided to whip up a website,
That's what he is.
and it's
That's
all
what he is.
it's all features, and it's like, okay,
Yeah.
It even says features.
yeah, words, and it's like it's just too many words. Who gives a crap, right? So the obvious and subtle benefits of it, oh Jesus, who gives a shit? Seriously, I mean, this just sucks. So, and I mean that in the most loving, kind way, of course. But the obvious and subtle benefits of a DiffX server in your organization, I mean, seriously, shoot me in the head right now. So what? It's just like, why? Just tell me why I need it. And it's like, it's because why? And this is a good one. Lowers risk of lawsuits, okay. And that's one of the stories. You know, you open up and it'll be like, meet George. George is in prison. George got caught with his pants down because he left naughty pictures on an open server. Don't let that... No, I mean, I'm kind of being funny on purpose, but the whole thing is, it's like, first of all, I guarantee I had you hooked because he got caught and now he's in prison. It's like, oh my God. But the whole thing is, tell me a story about someone who got screwed, and if you find out how this guy saves someone's ass, you got something to stand on here, right? And it's stories of transformation are the secret to everything that you need to do here, and that's find stories of transformation.
Okay.
And you just need a handful of them. I mean, I sold enterprise software, and we did exactly what Mike just said. It's like you have the stories of transformation. It's huge.
Okay.
Okay. Yep. Does that make sense?
Okay. Yes. No,
Okay.
that was great. Thank you.
All right. So I'll just put in here, tell stories of transformation. Did you watch the video I sent out today? We had kind of like the 2012 video, the interview with Pam Hendrickson.
Not yet. Nope.
Okay, but you got it right.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I kind of covered some of my standard philosophies in there, but I would just watch that.
Okay.
And then let's see here, and then we got Kathleen. So, are you good?
I'm good. Thank you. Yeah.
All right. You're all right. I'll tell you that right now. So, congratulations. You'll be here this month for the
Yes.
meeting? Fantastic.
Yes.
Okay. Well,
Okay.
I hope this was helpful, and go kick some butt, and then read this script. Try to model it.
I will.
All you got to do is tell stories of how their product has saved other people's butts, and try to match them up with the various avatars. And I mean, this is the secret. And I'd feature, getting back to this, I'll do the one last little thing here. Look at what's missing. Okay, this is a picture of. These are pictures of stuff. No one gives a crap about stuff, and it doesn't humanize. It has to be stories about people.
Look at the
How-
Basecamp site.
Okay, yeah, let's go there.
They've got a lot of case studies on
All
there.
right. How has his product helped people? Okay. I help blank do blank even if blank. And
people.
look at that. Yeah.
And the stories. Each one's
Okay.
a story.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll look at
Used to
here.
have a really pretty woman on the lead story. I don't know why they moved her off the homepage, but she was there.
Hot
forever.
chicks sell products.
Yeah.
That's just another thing just to know. Okay. All right. Well,
All right.
this is good.
Okay.
All right. Rock and roll.
Thank
Good.
you.
Yep.
So we got summits.
Okay. All right. Let's see here. Summit. All right. Here you are. Are you there, my friend?
I am here. Can you hear me?
I sure can.
Hey,
You sound
Summit.
fantastic.
Thank you, brothers. You guys are like a thunderstorm bringing in really nice negative ions. So
All
I really
right.
Cleaning
enjoy
the air.
camping out with you guys.
I love the smell of negative ions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so quite a few things are happening. I'm making quite a bit of progress in business development. Still need to make a lot of money, but I think it's coming. So my project right now is I'm on an e-commerce site, and the story is pretty good. It's 10hut, Tenhaute, 10hut.com.
10HAUTE?
HAUTE.com, like
Okay.
like the army, 10 hut kind of attention.
Oh.
Terra Hout.
So-
No. I think you're right.
10, that's it. You got it. You got
Okay.
it.
That's it.
All right, just a
Okay.
second.
Okay.
Bada
And
bing.
So how
Uh-oh.
it started.
I can't get in there, so I guess I can't show it off.
No. Go ahead. Type in 10 as name, TEN,
Mm-hmm.
and hut, HAUTE as password.
Okay.
That's a highly encrypted, secure password.
Woohoo!
there, so
Okay, TEN up
Oh, for
above,
heaven's
and then
sake.
HAUTE. I'll do it one more time, see if it works.
it worked on
All right,
Oh.
it worked. I
Come
got
on,
it.
maybe. All right, very good.
Yeah.
All right, so it's
See, you got it going on. I don't know about the dude with the pants pulled up too high there.
There was 3 pictures of 3 dudes and the picture on the right hand side, and I told them dudes don't sell, so they put in
Yeah.
the extra
Much
extra
better.
babe. So,
Okay, this nerd dude, you got to get rid of nerds. I mean, I got nothing against nerds. These two on the right, I'm just
I've
saying.
been telling them. Yeah, I got you. So
Okay.
I got your back on that. So
All right.
here's the scoop. So this is basically an e-commerce site that if you went to, like, say, men's or women's or children, it's basically a lifestyle site that offers pretty considerable discounts on brand names. And the specific market is how it started was military wives who need extra income,
Let me just say that.
and so the idea was to market to that.
Yep.
And the whole history of that is they wanted to address the military families coming home or kind of being deployed, and so wanted to kind of create affiliate programs for that audience. It's since turned out, again, per our advice, my advice is, hey, why don't you just open it up to everybody, just offer a few extra things to the military. And so this is fundamentally an affiliate site, and the affiliate program really is about us hosting their sites. So, for example, somebody who nobody needs to have a website of their own. They'll have their own address that they can send their networks to, and creating a whole affiliate program self-hosted on one site. That's basically the nutshell.
Okay.
Yep.
So I need 3 things. First of all, I'm pretty sure I could figure out how to do all the affiliate stuff. Again, I've never done it. It doesn't seem that hard, but I'm wondering if you guys can help me with kind of procedures and policies of what to do, everything from applications to vetting out bad affiliates and stuff like that. So that's one need.
Okay.
The other need is I do have the online social media marketing aspect all covered because of all the stuff you guys have ever trained me with. So and that really has resonated well with them. And the third one really bit me, and this might help other people as well, is they were really surprised at how low of a budget I put, probably erroneously, on online ads. And so because they're an e-commerce site, they have the online market experience. They were thinking, hey, why don't you triple or even quadruple this budget, because that's what we're used to. And again, it's probably my bad that I didn't do that, but I was kind of putting all my eggs in the online marketing basket.
Okay.
So
How much did you tell them?
I told them probably $4,000 per quarter, based on seasonal stuff that's happening.
It's more like $4,000 a day.
Okay.
I know people who are spending. I
expensive.
crap you not. Not big, but I mean, some people are spending $250,000 a month. Okay, 10 grand a day, especially for sites like this, is not uncommon. There are people who specialize only in clothing and selling and doing ads and stuff like that. It is hard effing work, and it requires a massive amount of testing. And I'm talking about like hourly management and monitoring. So. If I were you, boy,
They're gonna niche it though. To
yeah,
this
what do you got?
military Niche.
Wait, hold
yeah,
on.
go ahead.
So before you answer I got the online stuff, but really what they want me to do initially is develop the affiliate program, which is creating the necessary copy for a particular niche. Manage some sales, so on base concession sales, or figuring out how to get to military spouses and people who want to do affiliate marketing but have it hosted by us. And so those are the two primary things. And the third thing really is well, how much do you want me to budget for? They're asking me, how much do you want me to budget for online advertisement? And so my primary job is to get the affiliates going, because we believe the affiliate avatar is probably worth more than the average customer that will.
Do they want to sell this kind of like sign up military wives to do like kind of Tupperware parties?
That's exactly right. So the idea is to penetrate bases where spouses are wanting to do stuff. There's actually a whole program in the DoD that helps military spouses get career training. We want to get into that world, and so really help that kind of market become marketers themselves and become salespeople. So there's a whole bunch of training aspects to it.
Good. All right. So tell me, what do they got for margins?
Oh, it's incredible. So these guys are very well connected. They're in the LA garment district right now, but they came from the socialbuy.com pedigree. And so they've got considerable amount of brand connections. And so they've got brands like Chanel and BB, and you pretty much name it, they're going to go after the name brands. And their margins are probably on the, order of near 80%. They're getting, shirts for $5, being able to sell it for 40, and retail is 60 or 80, type of thing. So,
well, if they're that's not 80%, that's 800%.
800%, right?
Okay,
sorry.
Good. That's a lot better. I was just going to say 80%. They're screwed. Might as well close the doors right now.
Yeah,
all right.
It's 800%.
Great.
It's in that vein. So.
All right. So here's the deal. I'm going to just tell you what I would do if I were in their shoes. If I were in your shoes. First of all, affiliates. We have a saying internally, which is they're lazy and they're right. Okay. Or they're lazy, they're greedy, and they're right. All right, which the whole thing is, you can't argue with an affiliate. You got to pay them, and they want a lot of money. And but the good thing about affiliates are they're taking up all the risk. And now we don't do this because we're nice. But what people in retail do is they'll pay their affiliates a lot and let the affiliates spend a lot of money figuring out how to tap the market, and then they basically knock off whatever the affiliates are going to do, and they undercut them. Okay, so they just pay attention to how they're generating all the traffic. So you can use your affiliates in this particular instance
That's not really like an affiliate, though. It's more of like a salesperson is what they want to do. If they want to do like Tupperware stuff.
Yeah, and is that what you're talking about when you say an affiliate? You're talking about a direct salesperson? Or
no, not necessarily direct, but the model is kind of weekly after an affiliate. But really, the affiliates would be, hey, I have a website, I want to include your catalog. What we're going to do is provide them a 10hot / some affiliate number website where they can send their people to, and then we can track what they're actually sending through the system here. So we're going to basically host the affiliates. Because we predict they don't have any web presence currently, they don't have any sales or marketing savvy currently, and so we want to help them through the process of doing Tupperware parties, but with this lifestyle stuff that we have.
So are these online or offline? I guess I'm
these are all online. This will be all online. So imagine on a base there is a whole community of let's say I'm totally being sexist here, but say there's a group of wives that get together once in a while and they do their play dates and Tupperware parties and all that. We want to get ourselves inserted into that network to do these types of purchases because they don't have this available to them wherever they are.
All right. So I'm going to just tell you a couple things. I'm going to address the affiliate thing first, and then I'll tell you about the way I would do the Tupperware party thing, okay? So the number one question you got to ask yourself right now is who is already selling to my audience, okay? And then who owns the minds and vocabularies of my target audience, okay? So, if there's some way, I mean, I know that if you can, just go straight to the military and say, I've got job opportunities for wives, there's probably someone who's got, they've got an entire department dedicated to that, basically creating entrepreneurs inside the bases.
Yeah, I've located that already. So
Good.
there is an associate or assistant director of the DoD that does that.
Okay,
So we got that.
I'm going to write down how you make that happen. Meet with them, get them drunk, and but basically what you do is, you've heard the truth serum meetings. That's what they call it. Now there's also another way that in the gaming world, here's what they used to do. They'd go to like wherever there's an event going on, and you throw a great party. But you've got to get in a bus to do it, and it takes place at like a museum. And again, you get everyone all liquored up, serve some really nice hors d'oeuvres and wine, and you'll have a nice band and stuff like that. But before the liquor starts pouring, you do a little half an hour or 20-minute sales presentation. And you walk around and schmooze. The whole thing is, where the hell are they going to go? Just make sure that wherever the party is taking place, there's nowhere else to go, so they can't leave. Like, for example, if there was an event taking place in Napa area, you'd take them to a winery somewhere. But the whole idea is, that's the way. I know a guy who used to run Sierra Online, and that was their strategy for years and years. They just grab everyone from, the big trade show. They'd put them all on a bus. They'd get them there. They'd do their 20-minute or half an hour little spiel. And they'd get them all drunk and happy, and everyone would have happy thoughts, and they went away, and they'd close deals. But it's going to be the fastest, quickest way. So you got to ask yourself, where can I find all the decision makers where they get together and meet them on their turf, but take them off their turf? And if you haven't done this already, I highly recommend you read a book called Pitch Anything by Oren Klaff. I don't know if you're watching our webinar or webcast that we're doing. Oren's become a good friend of mine now, and you can learn more about this at pitchanything.net. This is, in my opinion, the best book I've ever read on raising money, and I can't say anything more than this right now, except I've gotten to know Oren very well, and he's really good at raising money. Yeah. Are we clear?
Yes.
Okay, good. So get this book immediately. It is outstanding. Okay. Oops. Okay. All right. Apparently I'm it's so funny. I've got my the wrong keyboard in front of me here. I'm kind of futzing around, but there we go. Good. So now, as far as affiliates are concerned, they're fickle, and someone here can help me out because I cannot remember the name of the damn website right now, but there's a site where you spy on who's buying advertising. It's like a pay-per-click monitoring site. Mm-hmm. What it is God dang it, help me out here. Do you know what
SpyFu, is it?
Maybe it's SpyFu, or I'm having a moment right now. What's the site that we recommend everyone use for doing their keyword spy? That's what it is. Damn it. Okay. Keyword spy. Oops. Spy. Oops. I have SIS spy. God dang it. First day with the new hands. Keywordspy.com. There we are. All right. So SpyFu, yeah, spying your competitors' AdWords and keywords for $80 a month. All right. So that's badass. And then you go down here. So what you do is you're going to be able to figure out not only what people are spending and what they're buying. You can figure out who's actually buying the ads. All right. So whoever's buying the ads and spending money in the space and advertising and marketing your competitors, that's who you're going to contact to be an affiliate. That makes sense?
Yes.
So that's very, very valuable stuff. Oops, wrong damn thing. Why? Ugh. Okay, just a second here. Man, first day, new hands. Okay. SpyFu. and keyword spy. Very nice. All right.
Beautiful.
Just want to make sure I answered all the questions. Now, the other thing that I would do is find the closest competitor or product that's already got, people doing this. And I know one of the most successful businesses that are doing the Tupperware party sort of a thing actually sell what is loosely called marital aids. They're basically like vibrators and what's the name of it?
No, but I've heard of it. I don't know.
They have these housewife parties where they basically get together and they're selling like marital aids. Okay, they're like lingerie and all that kind of stuff. Maybe I bet if you did a search on what's it called? Oh yeah,
pool parties
online. At home lingerie parties. I'm spelling it wrong, I know. Passion parties. Maybe that's what it's called.
Think that's it.
Yeah, so here they are. But you do a little bit of research. Yeah, that's what they are. Passion
attend
parties.
some of those summits just to get a feel for the
do
process.
some research, some product research. Anyway, there you go. Check these out. I'll bet you anything if you can get their kit, find out how they're doing what they're doing, how they're acquiring, and you use SpyFu and Keyword Spy to find out how they're getting people.
And check
whole
out
thing
Tupperware too. Tupperware is really good. And then there's a jewelry company too that does that.
All right. So you getting the idea though? Just do a little bit of research, find out who to model, and get their kit, get their welcome kit, because I guarantee you they've scripted out everything. They've got DVDs and everything, and just study.
Okay.
I'll bet you could knock them off in a week.
What would you guys charge for this kind of service? Because I can see a couple of other places where I can leverage the same thing that I'm doing with this e-commerce site. What's a good charge for this?
Okay, and when you say charge for, you mean setting all this stuff up and figuring this out for them?
Yes.
Well, here's what I would do is, first of all, I'd get the kit, and I studied for a while every MLM under the market, and one company that I got to know very well is USANA. You familiar with them? So I used to do marketing for Dr. George Wentz, or Myron Wentz, sorry, who started USANA, and he has an alternative hospital called Sanaviv in Mexico, and Vivian and I used to do all their marketing. And check that out. Look at that. FDA is now an FDA registered. Holy crap. That's huge. Okay, so these guys, this dude's like a multi-billionaire. And their whole business model is pretty amazing. But if you study their DVDs, their whole model is basically the same model. I mean, it's where I kind of got my Disruptosaurus theory, which is you get people into a room and have a whole bunch of people telling stories about the success they've had, and use social proof. So it's just social proof multiplied. And but in the MLM world, the way they recruit is by getting a bunch of people who've recently been converted, and they're like, I'd like you to meet my whatever they call him, the person who's next level up in the pyramid scheme to show up in the at an event, and they just get up there and they tell their story. It's basically their transformational story about how, and one of the top sellers at USANA, I don't remember her name right now. She was I got to know her very, very well, and she's a gazillionaire. I mean, she's just crushed it. Probably makes $2-3 million a year out of USANA in recurring revenue because she has so many people underneath her. All she does is shows up in a room full of people at a hotel room, tells her transformational story about how she's a big fat slob, 3 months ago. Well, she's not anymore. And how she almost died, and this thing, it's basically your broke-ass story. And then the transformation that took place in her life, and not only because of the product, but because of the program and how easy it is. And, and you got a bunch of people telling, and it's a damn good story, and it's not real. It's very real. Lynn something or other is her name. But she just told a story. And the key to all this is you got to get these folks to, first of all, start out by doing a couple, model the passion parties. Try to get a few people at some of the bases to do them that are modeled after, let's say, the passion parties, and follow them for like 3 months, and then have them tell their transformational story. I guarantee if you can get 10 parties done, you're going to get 2 good stories out of it, all right? And it's going to be about how much fun they had, how much money they made, and then after they each do 2, 3 of them, you bring in a camera crew and you shoot it, and you got yourself an unbelievable promotional video. Plus, you'll figure out how, the ones who are actually making money and successful. You're going to find out what they're doing. You don't even have to. You don't have to do any work.
Yeah. So I mean, so then someone was asking how much should he charge them?
That's why I told you the big long story. So the answer to the story is this: my opinion is if you spent 3 months prototyping the program, modeling the best, capturing proof, and creating the video, that to me is, I don't know, somewhere between a $60K to a $100K project.
Okay.
That's if I were,
There's a lot of value there, Summit, because you're going to basically engineer their business model for them. I would ask for the cash, and then I'd also ask for a piece of equity if that's even a possibility.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's three things that are on the table. One is cash monthly, which is cash up front plus some monthly revenue share, and also equity in the startup.
Yeah. Just make sure you got to look at a camera crew, a writer. You're going to get a good designer in there, but again, all you got to do is find 3 to 10 companies that are already doing something kind of like this to model.
Yeah, perfect. Very good.
And you don't have, the beauty of modeling is you really don't have to be an expert in anything. All you got to do is have good common sense as to what works. And I'll bet that if you go on here to like these passion parties, find out who's already advertising and marketing them. Find out someone who's already a military wife on a base, okay?
Yep.
That's who you go after first.
Yep.
Okay, got it.
All right?
Cool.
Yeah, beautiful. Mike, if I only had your mind, man. So,
I'll tell you what, all it is just hard work and practice.
yeah.
It's seriously,
Very good.
I'm not special. I really am not. So I appreciate that. But seriously, man, you just got to do this. And what's beautiful is the more you do it, the better you get. And just exposure. So I'm not talking about naked exposure. I'm just talking about regular exposure. No, I'm just giving you a hard time, dude. But
Thank you
gonna
very much, guys.
You got it, and you're gonna be here at our live event thingy.
Absolutely. I'll have other stories to share with you there. So.
Can't wait. Yeah, we'll have fun.
All right.
All right.
Sounds
Well,
good. Thanks,
we got Jason Smith, so I'm gonna bring him up. And let's see here. We got Jason Smith. Is Jason Smith in the house?
I am, thank you, sir.
Fantastic. Well, what the hell's been going on, man?
Oh, well, we're having a nice warm winter here in Canada.
I'll tell you what. That's good to hear.
+10.
You're a lucky man.
Yeah, can't wait for the San Diego trip, though. Get a little bit warmer.
Oh, it's been beautiful. Can you crank up your audio just a little bit, or get closer to your microphone by any chance?
Yeah,
I
there's
don't know why
been pictures of you on the internet all over the place, buddy. I don't know what's up with that.
What's this?
Those pictures of you doing push-ups without clothes on or something.
Oh, yeah. They're being sold at auctions for pretty high prices, I
That's
hear.
right.
What? That's good.
Anyways, I'll try and be brief because I know we got a lineup here and we're running over time. So, what's new and exciting? We've been signing a few new clients, but the most exciting one is we've got a proposal to a car dealership. And I did something totally new. Got a few ideas off the web and just put it into action. And I expect, if not by this afternoon, early next week, we'll have a new 6-figure deal in place.
Nice.
Congratulations.
So I can't get too excited yet, but I'm pretty sure it's in the bag. But I wanted to share what I proposed and to see if I left anything on the table, because obviously we intend to duplicate this across other dealerships, and also want to see how this might spill over into a model similar for real estate agents, which I know is a highly competitive market, but I still want to take a shot at it. So let me share a couple of links with you real quick.
Great.
Just to get an idea what what we did, and just post them here. So the first link is a quick Dropbox shared file of a PDF that we used to get in the door.
Okay.
And just kind of did a quick mock-up, sent a very non-salesy email to the general manager, and basically got the appointment using this PDF document.
Okay, I'm bringing her up.
Now, this is nothing new. I'm sure it's been done and been done well in other areas. We just took their existing PDF off their website, had our web designer chop it up in 15 minutes and throw a couple of things in there to attract them to, the mobile marketing.
Fabulous. Okay, just 1 second. I got to download this thing. And I'll be able to scroll through it. Fabulous.
Now, at the time we did this, we didn't realize shortcodes weren't available in Canada, so it won't work exactly like my mock-up, but that didn't hurt anything in the deal.
All right, that's good. Oh, yeah. Well, at least you got the QR code. Did you see you saw the new QR code generator thingy now? You can just crush it with that thing because you can track all these. And what I do is, if you can, put QRs underneath all of them and... Okay, text the stock number of any. Oh, you are a smart cookie. Love that, dude.
Yeah.
You're badass.
So what we did, obviously, set up a campaign for every vehicle, or that's the intention, is we proposed setting up a IC campaign for every vehicle with a very simple SMS system of asking for their name and their email and providing them a link to basically a video which we're going to produce a video for every vehicle.
For every
Wow.
That's awesome.
Wow.
We're going to do a
that's
video
such a great
through
idea.
every. What's the stupid online video? Animoto. So just simple, cheap, quick things with slideshow format just to get them up there.
Beautiful.
And then I found, and the other thing was, their current website and most websites out there are not mobilized, and so I found a great WordPress template, which I will share with you guys.
Okay.
And so going into the meeting, going into the proposal, I actually did this.
Did you
work
hit?
in advance.
You didn't hit send yet on that. Are you gonna text it or push this enter button on your?
Yeah.
Okay, there it is.
I
Good.
just sent it there.
All right.
So I again just hacked this up in about 15 minutes. Threw in a live example so that we could, when I was sitting in front of them doing the proposal, which I never do, I decided to do it this time for the effect.
Sweet.
And, I just put this website together briefly and threw in that top listing here under recent automobiles is an actual live example that I took off of their website.
Okay, under recent. Okay, good. So I'm clicking on that. Love it. By the way, one of the things when people text their name and email address, you should do the two-way thing and say, when is the best time to schedule a test drive with you? Enter your date and time, right? Okay. So you have the follow-up. That way it can immediately respond directly to whoever's in charge of the sales department, and they can just say, I got a hot lead for you, and they can follow up right away.
Exactly. Actually, I didn't have that question in there, but I had it proposed where the sales rep would, or the sales department would get a instant notification and have someone follow up with the client within minutes.
So here's your little virtual test drive. Is this from Animoto?
Yeah. So again, that's just a quick version, but we'll have a very simple template so that
Sweet.
So, anyways, so we proposed that, and we proposed this website, even though it was the template itself isn't mobilized as far as working seamlessly. So we took a mobile plugin, and then we have to sort of duplicate this listing in a different format in the blog section to get it to show up properly. But
all right.
Overall, the steps are the instant notification with IC, the mobilized video, and the mobile website. And the whole
Good.
works.
I've got an idea that you just gave me. This is badass. So this is a good idea. I'm going to figure out a way to simplify your life of creating, doing something like this inside of a single campaign instead of having a gazillion campaigns.
I would love that. I was working with Oliver extensively prior to this proposal to see what I could and couldn't do.
I'm going to talk to Oliver when we're done today, and I'll. This has been very inspirational. Okay, so I got to talk to him, but let me see what I can do.
I would love to hear that. And he's familiar with this campaign. So.
Okay.
Awesome. Well, what my questions were on, basically, am I leaving anything on the table in terms of what I could be offering this dealership? And the end result is we're going to use this website and all these listings with Traffic Geyser to blast out and get thousands of backlinks per month to build them in the authority for a series of used cars keywords in their local area. And then, of course, build a list of engaged customers through both their print and their online prospects.
Mm-hmm.
So there is a template like this that works for realtors, and I was thinking of how can I apply this to realtors. And I was thinking of, I've never done the online webinars, but I was wondering if there's a way to utilize the same system, but then include the live webinars like a virtual open house for almost every listing that they have.
Yeah, totally. The key to doing that inside Instant Customer, we've got our webinar template, but what you do is you do an on-demand webinar. And the whole idea is you'll basically do your virtual webinar, and as soon as they join or text their name and email address, what you do is you'd send them, basically push them immediately. It's the Evergreen Sales Machine. There it is.
Okay.
So basically, it's just gonna deliver the webinar or teleseminar, whatever it is, automatically, but as soon as they register. So there's no register at this date and time, and the whole idea is you want to get them, and then if they don't watch the whole thing, it just pesters them until afterwards, and then anyone who completes the webinar, you get a notification message. Have you seen how that works?
I haven't seen it because I've never done it, but
Okay.
I've heard about it and I've seen you show examples.
Okay, yeah. So the whole thing is, let's say if something's an event. Now, this isn't going to be an event, but if we have an autoresponder, one of the options is if they complete the event. So instead of instantly after subscribed, it would be later after subscribed. You'd send to someone if they was present and completed entire event. Okay? So the whole idea is anyone who finishes, you're going to automatically get a notification. All right? And then the other part of it is when they're finished, you basically send them a summary message that says, hey, do you have any questions? Do you want any more information? And then reply if you'd like to schedule an appointment or talk to us or whatever. So basically it's a two-way interaction, but you can send them both a mobile text and an email as soon as they finish.
Right.
Okay? Now what I'd do is I'd send the email instantly, and I'd wait for 5 minutes and then send the mobile text, because it's like, hey, check your email right now. I just sent you a blah, blah, blah. Or reply if you'd like to schedule an appointment. So that way, again, if they reply, it means they're interested.
Okay.
Make sense? So
Yep.
I just experiment with that a little bit, but this is just, the people who are using the two-way stuff right now are crushing it. It's so, it's just, your goal is just get them to respond and reply and get involved.
Right. Well, that's one thing I did include in the initial mock-up. In my proposal, of course, I did a live demonstration of one of the car listings. And rather than making it complicated, and this is where I had to work with Oliver, is we couldn't use short codes, but what could we do? And we did find a way to have the customer just text one word and not have to text their name and their email address to create further resistance. So we got them to, it turns out that the campaign ID number, if you put a C in front of it or something, you would get them to opt in with just one word.
Okay.
So that's what we'll use as the stock code, so to speak, in the print ads. But what we did was we had an autoresponder instantly reply back and said, great, to get started, tell us your name.
Yeah.
So then they told us their name, then we sent them the link, and then we'd follow up with more questions if they wanted.
Right.
And so, yeah, I definitely saw high value in that.
Yeah. I think the more kinds of things you do like this, and as long as you're already having a conversation with Oliver, like I said, you just inspired me. I got to talk to my devs, but I think there'd be a way to do, and I can't promise the timing on this because I know there's a bunch of other stuff in front of it, but to do an inventory-based campaign where there's a bunch of stuff loaded up and you get specific information on specific products and services, inside of one campaign. Just think about what that would do. It would
really
be
cool.
badass.
That would be amazing, as well as easier to manage and maintain. So,
Exactly.
Just to give you guys a few figures to go with that, I was struggling as to what the price point would be to offer such value. And I struggled because our cost to produce this entire campaign is less than $1,000 a month.
Nice.
Based on the volume of cars that they will be sending us, our retail the quantity of cars that they turn over every month is approximately about 130.
Nice.
Just between two dealerships in one city that are owned by the same company. And anyway, so we ended up going at $75 a vehicle, and they didn't even blink.
It's a bargain, man.
That's a deal.
It is.
It totally is.
I was going to do 100, and then I was thinking 50, and then my wife told me, "Are you crazy? Do 75."
Yeah.
So I did 75.
Here's the thing. Next time around, what you're going to do is start throwing out. First of all you need. Here's how you're gonna crush it. And you saw. Did you watch when we were doing the webcast? The way, all you got to do is you got to go in and say every time so and so, okay, this dealership, what's the name of it? South Point Toyota. Every time they press the send button, they get $54 back for every dollar they spend. That's all you need. You need a metric. So as soon as you have a metric, if you can go to them and basically give them a metric where they're going to get 3 times their money back after they pay you, I mean, they're going to be like, holy shit, right?
Yeah.
All you got to do is you got to have
exactly...
metrics. So get these guys as a prototype. As long as they're paying you $75 now and you got the metrics and you know what they're making, it's going to be easy math, right? And at that point, once you know what it is, as long as you have a tracking mechanism and you know they ain't going to screw you, you just do it purely on a straight commission basis. You say it'll be $1,000 setup or whatever the hell it is, and then I'll do it for blah, blah, blah. It's like pay for performance. If you can make the metrics work on both sides, now you can go and dominate. You can go and dominate a market. That is an acquirable business.
Yes.
Okay? So you got to have a when you push the send button, you get $25 for every dollar you spend, okay? And remember, the other beauty of this is, and I assume they have this in Canada too, unless there's laws against it, these guys have co-op money, okay? Dealerships in the United States have co-op money to spend, which means either the dealership's picking up anywhere from 50 to 100% of a marketing budget, okay? So once you got this thing down and you got a story and you got a couple of examples, you can go straight to, you wouldn't want to necessarily go corporate. You want to go to district or regional, because it'll be a hell. You got to kind of go through the channels to close and crush. Because if you go straight to direct, you just don't know the politics.
Right.
But man, you can then go to some of the big auto dealership conferences, and you'll basically go there and do a keynote presentation in front of all these dealers. And you'll go, how to turn $1 of your marketing money into $25 in profit with the click of a button.
With no risk.
Yeah, with zero risk. Okay. I mean, I
like it.
Yeah, you're gonna just.
This awesome.
If I were you, assuming you can turn this around and make it work, you got yourself a very acquirable real business here, and you're getting paid to design and develop it. Hats off to you, man. This is beautiful.
Well, it's $10,000 a month that this one comes out to, plus the 25 setup fee.
Yeah, I was doing all the math. I said, Mike, it ends up being 10 times anyway.
Dude,
yeah.
You remember the George Thompson? So here's the dude. I mean, the best story ever during our launch was this dude George was selling pizzas for Papa John's, 9 months ago, part-time after he lost his job at a mobile thing, and now he's sitting on a potential $2 million contract with Papa John's and a $10 million contract with Ford, doing the exact same thing. It's basically doing the pizza club and a auto club. So the only other money I think you're leaving on the table is go to their parts or their service department, do posters, text your name and email address for the auto club discounts, and build their list. And remember, I mean, all you got to do is come up with a coupon, either a weekly or monthly coupon or bi-weekly, mail it out, and then send a mobile text 15 minutes after saying, check your email now for, half-price tires or whatever the hell it is. Yeah. And if you're really smart, you know about the 4-day cash machine, right?
I'm not familiar with the
Okay,
title, no.
I'm going to teach the 4-day cash machine in a subsequent video, and basically here's all it is for now. It is a it's a half price sale, and all you're doing is sending 4 emails, and it's like, hey, for the next 4 days, all these tires are half price, but you got to call now. And it just drips an email on them every day saying, hey, it's almost done, it's almost done, it's almost done. Every single time we ever do it, it makes a small fortune.
Yeah, it's online now for free. You can
Oh,
just go
okay.
get it, Frank. Just do a search for
On FreightKern.net. Okay.
Oh, it's a Frank Kern thing. Okay.
Yeah. I'll put it up. Okay, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say that's awesome. And you know what? The client, how I know he was hot for it is he goes, well, if we do this for the used cars, could we also do another one like this for our service department? So he's already thinking that way.
Yeah.
And I love the growth and expansion there.
Okay. Here we go. And
Prompted for a password.
all
It
right.
used to be free.
Well, I've got it here, and he's cool about letting me.
It's out there free somewhere because I've seen it.
All right, I have it. Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna share it. I'll get it for you. Yeah.
Okay.
I got it. I'll post it up.
Okay.
PDF.
Awesome. Well, I'd love to hear your feedback then after you talk to Oliver about that. And yeah, I appreciate the comments, and I'll see if I can. I'll of course update the group when I close this deal officially, but it looks pretty good.
Dude, you're badass.
Nice job.
Thank you.
Yep. No,
Thank
congratulations. This is awesome. And here's one other thing I'd ask you to do. I'm going to have you get in touch with Gabby at Traffic Geyser. And if you would, I'd love to feature you in one of our hero stories and in our next launch. This is an awesome story. And we're doing, I don't know if I mentioned it today, but we created a new department called, the Department of Irrefutable Proof. So I'll have her get hold of you, your story. Okay?
Cool. Thank you.
Yep. Nope. Awesome story. And let's see. We've got Kathleen next. So here's what I'll do. I'll meet you up. We got Kathleen. And I know we're running a little late today. Kathleen, are you there?
I'm here. Can you hear me?
I can. Do you have... oh, yeah. Okay. I don't have the echo anymore. Great. Super. So tell us what's shaking. Happy New Year.
Yes. Happy New Year. Happy and healthy New Year to everyone. I had a couple of quick questions. One kind of relates to the possibility of, instead of having regular affiliates who are motivated by self-income, to instead partner with people who are trying to earn money for their favorite charity.
Yep.
And I was just wondering, kind of testing it on you, is if I were to give you, send you a sample of our product and you liked it, you loved it, and you had a charity that you wanted to support, like just like my child, would you promote it to your list in exchange for a good percentage, maybe $50 per sale to the charity?
Mm-hmm. See my notes? There you go. There's the answer.
So does that apply to you?
It applies to, here's the deal. I can't, the more important thing is you can't, if you burn your list on stuff that doesn't make you money, here's what happens. Every time I mail, so let's say I mail something, okay? And let's say I mail to 100,000 people. Here's the math. Out of that, you typically, depending on your open rate, and these days you're lucky if you're opening at 15%, okay? So that means let's say there's 15,000, which is pretty high. Let's say it's 10%. That's 10,000. And out of that, you got 25% click-through. So that's 2,500 click-throughs, okay? Now, for that mailing, and you know, your list is your life. What happens is you're gonna lose probably, I'm gonna just say you'll get anywhere from 1% to 2% unsubscribes per mailing. Okay? Now those are unsubscribes are people who are opens. And so out of your 10,000, you're going to lose 1 to 2% out of that. So the whole thing is, it doesn't matter what you're promoting. If it's free stuff, if it's an offer, whatever, and the more offers you have, the more unsubscribes you get, and the lower your click-throughs are, and the lower your opens. So the whole thing is, you're basically telling someone to burn their list on something that doesn't make them money. So it's frankly, I'd be better off just writing out a check to the charity and using my list to make money. So that's the whole thing is, it's not that it's not a good idea and the intentions aren't right. It doesn't make mathematical sense. You know, so like you'll notice I only mail on products that A, I have a 5 to 7 year relationship with the person who's selling the product. B, I've used it and it actually works. C, it makes me a lot of money. Because when I'm doing mailings of any sort, I'm burning my list, and frankly, I'd make 4 times more money selling my own stuff than I would promoting someone else's crap. The only reason I promote someone else's stuff, unfortunately, is reciprocity, which is they're going to promote me. And inside of 4 months, we're not going to do it anymore. I'm not going to do affiliate marketing. I'm not going to be promoting other people's crap. And if they don't want to promote mine or they require that I do reciprocity, I'll say, sorry, I can't do it. Because it doesn't make financial sense anymore. So the whole thing is, you know, it's sort of like saying, hey, you know, I'd love you to, you know, use your tools to build me a house. And then when you build me a house, I'm going to pay the charity that you love instead of paying you. It's like, yeah, it doesn't make sense. It just doesn't add up. So, you know, again, it's a nice idea, but you're better off figuring out how you can just make a shit ton of money and give it away.
Okay, well, I wasn't really thinking of professional affiliates here. I was thinking of people who are actually interested in promoting the charity and that's their primary interest. For example, someone's on a charity drive.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's, see, here's the problem. People who are promoting charities have no money. That's the problem.
No, I'm not asking them to give me money. I'm asking their customers to buy something where a portion of it goes to the charity, like the K2ED, like the public TV, like a charity, like breast cancer research. I'm not talking about people themselves. I'm talking about like Boy Scouts, like the Boy Scouts. If you buy this, then $50 goes to Boy Scouts.
Okay, yeah, that
it's a premium.
Yeah, it can work. It can work. I would say, let me think. That can work. I don't know how well it works online. You can try it. So, yeah, I'd say you can try it out. Here would be the experiment. The only way to know for sure is by testing it. So, you basically have 2 paths you go down. One is you just sell stuff. You focus all your energy on selling stuff and marketing stuff and then give away part of the money, okay? The other one is, hey, every time you spend money and you donate this, I'm going to give something in your name or I'll just donate it. The time and effort and resources it takes to set it up, to make sure that the charity's in line, make sure that the charity appeals to your buyer, and then the overhead and doing all the work. This is just my opinion. Better off focusing all your energy on creating a great marketing program and selling your crap. All right? I
hear what you're saying.
I think it's a lot of work. Yeah.
I hear what you're saying, and what I'm talking about is not excluding all those other activities, but I wouldn't be focusing on trying to market to a particular charity's people. I would have them market it to their people as part of a campaign.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I guess the only way to know is try it out and test it. My gut instinct is it's a distraction from what's important. And the biggest lesson that I learn and relearn all the time is every single time I lose focus on communicating benefits to the audience that I know buys my stuff, I make less money. It doesn't matter what my intentions are. And you know what the old saying goes, the pathway to hell is... good
intentions.
Yeah, path is that how it goes? The pathway to hell is laid with the intentions, or something like that, and no good deed goes unpunished. I didn't understand the true meaning of that, but I swear to you, it just doesn't matter. You can do the greatest, kindest thing, and some hater's going to come up and have 10 reasons why you're bad because of it. It just isn't. The exposure isn't worth it. And
okay, so
yeah.
I have another topic question.
Sure.
And the other topic question is if I have multiple campaigns and I have a website for each of those campaigns, and they, depending on where they're coming from, they'll go to a different website and they will all end up probably at the same shopping cart, and then they'll eventually go back to my primary website. Mm-hmm. What does that do with regards to Google searches? I understand that if I diversify and have multiple websites for different campaigns, then that's not going to really build it up. But if each one of those, after they purchase or when they subscribe, points back to my other website and opens it automatically as part of the system, does that build my primary website in Google?
Okay, so I got to make sure when you say campaigns, what's a campaign in this? Do you have a sample web page or a site or something to look at?
No, I don't. But what I'm planning to do is to have, for example, if I have different affiliates or I have different charitable organizations who direct their customers to a customized site, it's not a huge big difference. But
I got it.
It's their site, and anything that goes to them, they get the credit for, and that's part of one of the ways I'm thinking of calculating the affiliates and establishing an ongoing relationship with those people because I understand their particular interests. Mm-hmm. And then when someone makes a purchase or subscribes, the system after they do that opens up to my main site, as you know, like when you do a survey, after you're done with the survey, it goes to the right page.
Yeah. All right. So here's how I'm going to answer your question. Okay, so I've got, right now it's still shut down at the moment. Okay, so there's Cross-Channel Mojo. But let me just do one quick thing, and I got to find my... give me 1 second here. I got to find a page from one of my my guys here. Tony. Okay, here we go. Okay, here we are. Okay, and all right. I don't know what the hell the open page is for Cross-Channel Mojo, but check this out. So I type in Cross-Channel Mojo in Google. Now, right now, they're saying there's 572,000 results. And now, I got to go down. Let's see, how many sites here to find my website, okay? So, down, cross-channel. So, you see what I'm looking at here? I'm actually looking for my site. Now, why is this important? Because every single site ahead of this, my affiliates are better at getting my website listed than I am, okay? Now, my team didn't spend any time optimizing Cross-Channel Mojo. Now, part of the thing is Cross-Channel Mojo isn't a optimized site, really. But the point is, I've got all, here it is. So I'm on the third page, or the fourth page. Frankly, I don't care. Why? Because if I look up cross-channel marketing even, I own that concept, and it's okay, cross-channel. Okay, there's one, Main Street Market. That's an affiliate. Here's an affiliate. Here's an affiliate. Here's an affiliate. Okay. All right, and then I think my own site points to it. So why am I telling you this, and why does it matter? It's because it turns out, like, up till like 2 days ago, I was on the first page, but I'm not right now, my own personal website. The whole thing is, I don't care as long as all the roads lead back to me. So if I were you, instead of figuring out how I can create a whole bunch of separate websites, have your affiliates point to you. Your affiliates serve a purpose, which is to make you money and to make you more famous than you could make yourself. So anytime you search for that search engine phrase and whatever you want to own for, as long as your affiliates are generating copy, content, websites, or whatever that point back to you, thank them for it. Okay? It's free traffic, or it's, who cares if it's paid traffic, right? So the whole point is, I wouldn't set up a whole bunch of separate websites. I'd have one website, and you could have a separate page on your website that affiliate points to, only if you have to. And the only reason I say that is, in my experience, and this is, I got 35 faces around here to feed, but it doesn't, every single, I'd say almost every single time, if I don't have a person who's responsible for just managing affiliates and the separate pages and the separate sites and all that crap, it won't get done and it gets abandoned, and then I got broken websites all over the place. And you don't have time to manage a whole bunch of stuff. So just have one site, at most a separate page on your site for that affiliate, but otherwise have them just drive traffic to the offer and let them promote it and market it and generate traffic for you. But if you focus on creating a whole bunch of pages and a whole bunch of stuff, something will break, and it'll end up not selling stuff. So again, it's just a matter of staying focused. Does that help?
Thank you, Mike.
Okay. Yep. So again, I'd say the bottom line is come up with one story or 3 stories, as many different avatars as you know buy your product. Tell only as many stories as you absolutely have to, and make sure you got affiliates who are telling that story for you and driving traffic to one place. You will make money. Everything else is a distraction. You got anything else?
Nope.
Okay, cool. Is that useful?
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. Okay, well then what I'll do is I'll bring up Susan, but thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Hello, Susan. Are you there?
Susan M.
I am here. Can you hear me?
I can. You might want to crank yourself up a little bit.
All right, I'll move the mic down. Just tell me if I start making that popping sound.
You are not making a popping sound. You sound absolutely delightful.
That's me popping.
All right. A little bit of pop in there. No, you sound great. So go ahead. Tell us what's going on.
So here's what's going on. The restaurant marketing thing is really taking off. A lot of stuff is going on. We have the membership site is going gangbusters. I opened it up at the free level after closing out the...
Susan, can you turn up your microphone a little bit or get it even closer to your mouth? You're still pretty quiet.
Hang on. Let me see.
Are you using a Yeti?
No, I'm using a headset.
Oh, okay. Are you on a Mac or a PC?
A Mac.
Okay. Let me show you something here. Go to your system preferences, go to sound, go to input, and crank up your input volume.
All right.
Yeah, it's getting better a little bit. Talk to me.
Sound?
Yeah, a little bit more.
I'm not there yet.
Oh,
wait,
you're
oh,
not.
I see. Okay.
Okay, crank that.
Oh, how about now?
Oh, a little bit
Oh,
more.
you're up.
Just, okay, talk again.
Now?
That's,
How about now?
that's pretty
It
good.
keeps going back down.
Oh,
How
that's
about now?
That's a little bit distorted. It'll adjust to wherever it goes. It ought to be good enough now. It's better than it was. All right.
I want input or output.
It's input. Output is what's going into your ears. Input's what's coming out of your mouth.
Okay. All right.
There you go.
Okay.
All right.
Good?
So restaurant's going good, and you're getting to the next thing?
Okay, that's going good. So I built this membership site, and I ran a training program.
Mm-hmm.
The training program closed out in November, and we took a lot of the marketing collateral that we built through the program and made a bunch of videos and handouts and stuff like that, and built a membership site and opened it up at the free level. So we have 3 levels. We have free, we have the hero level, which is the first level of the paid.
Okay.
And then we have VIP level, which is, the paid but with coaching and maybe do a little masterminding type thing. And we're going to relaunch in January.
Okay, so you got 3 levels. What are your 3 levels?
Free.
Okay, all right.
Hero.
Uh-huh.
And VIP.
All right. And what are your price points?
So free is free.
Yeah, I got that.
Hero, the price is going to be $9.97.
Uh-huh.
And VIP is going to be $19.97.
Okay.
Okay, so that's all cool. So the free is going like gangbusters now, of course, because it's free stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm in the process of repackaging the training. So that's one thing that's going on that's pretty big.
Okay, quick question for you. What are you using for your membership site software, and what's the domain?
It's Be a Restaurant Hero is the website, and I'm building it. Right now it's an optimized press and wish list, but I'll probably, after seeing Mojo, I'll probably switch it over to Kajabi.
Okay.
When I get, after I sell it.
Okay.
After, I get some money to buy Kajabi.
Well, Kajabi's cheap. If I were you, I'd do it before. It's only $100 a month.
Oh, really? I thought it was more than that.
No. It's a monthly membership thing, so it's cheap. And I transferred over before, and the only reason is it's a pain in the ass to do it after the fact. You don't want to sell it and then deliver it.
Interesting. Okay.
That's my opinion.
I thought it was more like $400 a month.
Nah, it's cheap. It's cheap. Okay, so you got all this stuff. Here's something else. You got to make this, you got this big table here. Make sure this is text, not a picture. Because SEO ain't giving you any loving. That make sense?
Oh, I know. Well, yeah, I know. That was like a rush job to, actually, we did that for the Mojo launch because that was part of my bonus.
Oh, okay.
So I went out there as fast as I could.
Got it.
So that's that.
At least you got stuff done. Good for you.
Yeah, good was good enough,
That's the way to do it.
So we have that going on, and then I am taking between like 15 to 20 new restaurants we're going to launch in the next 6 to 8 weeks, I think.
Wow. Okay.
And they're all different, all different packages, so that's going good as well. I wanted to take the Be a Restaurant Hero training program and actually repackage it for restaurant owners and not marketers. And I kind of ran out of time on it. And again, selling it to marketers is a lot lower hanging fruit for me because I have a good following. So I'm going to have to just launch that one more time and then maybe repackage it for restaurant owners. So here's the things I want to talk about. There's a lot of other stuff going on too, and it all revolves around the restaurant marketing. And so just understand that we're sitting pretty with that.
Okay.
I guess I should say.
So how many, can I ask what you've sold so far in terms of your paid?
Well, we sold, back in September, we sold 17.
Okay.
Hero, we didn't have a VIP.
Okay.
Okay.
Yep.
So we're relaunching at the end of January for the Hero level.
Okay. That's great.
So yeah, I think it's good. And meanwhile, I get calls. I get like 2 calls, 3 calls, 4 calls a week for people that want one-on-one coaching, and I'm trying to pull them into, I'm telling them wait till the end of the month, and take the class.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of thing.
Great.
So here's what happens with this class. We get people in there. I've got a few people in there that want to now, they're going out and they're getting restaurant clients, but they don't feel comfortable doing the work, and they want me to JV with them. Now, here's one in particular. I have a gal out in Texas. She does marketing, but for real estate. She took my class. Her client's son owns 8 restaurants here in Connecticut.
Okay.
I met with them yesterday, I think, and it looks like they want me to market all 8 restaurants.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know what to do with this girl. You know, I don't know if, like, I guess I have to ask her what she wants, but I think ideally she's going to tell me that she wants to keep her foot in the project, and can we work together on it? All right. Now, I know how to do it. She doesn't. She signed up for the class. She's also a coaching student, but she never took the coaching. You know, she's like a coaching student that doesn't show up, and she never went to any of the classes. So, like, how do you set up a JV like this is what I'm wondering.
All right. Well, that's a good question. This is a fantastic question, in fact. So I will tell you that in my experience, someone who's an enthusiast but isn't doing the work becomes a giant pain in the ass and a huge liability. And then they not only prevent you from getting stuff done, they interfere with the client relationship. And then you run the risk of obviously exposing some of your secret sauce, unless they're paying for, you know, to teach the secret sauce. So I would, first of all, I would ask her what she wants, because, I mean, there's a classic story. It's a negotiating story. I've got to think of the guy's name. He's Richard Dawson is the name of the dude. He's got some stuff out there. If you, and he has a negotiating course.
Okay.
And it's old. I'm talking about like probably from the late 70s or so. And someone else might hear of him. I know there's other ones out there. Carreras. You've seen him in Victor Carreras or something like that. This dude who's on, you see him in all the airline magazines. Chester Carreras or something like that it's a negotiating course. But the whole idea is we get this thing in our head about what we think other people want. And we're afraid to even ask because we're afraid that they want the same things we do. And very rarely do people who you're negotiating with want the same things you do. So the sooner you get it on the table and just ask and be like, and then, you know, from there you just listen and you say, what does this mean and why do you want that? And just ask a whole bunch of questions. So that's the first thing, is just ask. And then you either can live with it or you can't live with it. And it's fine to say no. And then what you do is say, well, let me think about it. And if what you end up doing is you pay a certain amount of money per client based on X, Y, and Z, you know, just make sure you build that into the price of whatever you're charging. That way it's quote unquote not costing money out of your pocket. You know what I mean? The other thing is, go ahead.
Well, so like my first impulse would be like, well, can I just pay her to go away? Like, you know, here's a $5,000 finder's fee. Thank you. You know, I'll take it from here because I'm going to end up doing all the work anyway.
Yep.
You know, or redoing what she's done, kind of thing.
Yep.
But how do you know what, you know, what the numbers should be?
Well, I think again, the question is, you got to ask, and this is the whole thing. You've been around us long enough to know that how my pricing strategy works, right? Which is you got to find out the value of a customer.
Oh yeah, that's true.
And so, by the way, I got that from Summit there, the negotiating game. So, the key, in my experience, is calculate the value of the customer. And remember what I was talking about up here a couple minutes ago when we were talking to Jason Smith. And, you know, letter I here. When you push the send button, you get $25 for every dollar you spend. Mm-hmm. If you did anything right now with your current restaurant clients and you want to sell to restaurants over and over again, it's sort of like, look, I know your numbers and I understand the fact that on average, your restaurant, it costs you blah to stay open every night, and here's how much you're bringing in, and here's what your profit is, and marketing is getting more and more difficult. So what if I told you that I could build a list so you can guaranteed have a line outside your door every night, and every time you pushed your button, your phones ring off the hook. You want proof? Watch this. And you've got 3 testimonials after another of clients you've been working with that basically said, yeah, I've been using Susan's program. She helped us build a list from 0 to 300 in 2 weeks. And every time we push the button, our phones ring off the hook, and we've got a full house, okay? That's what you need. That's the story you need. Yeah. And for every $1 I spend, I get 24 back, or 6 back, or 5 back, or $5.50. Doesn't matter what it is. You just need that same theme repeating. And from there, it's pretty darn easy. So I think you've got to come up with the metrics that allow you to ask the right questions to those prospects and know what know what the ROI is going to be for them.
Well, for that, I mean, that I can do.
Good.
I'm wondering what I mean, like for this gal that brought me this group, do I pay her off, the lifetime value?
No.
Or
hell no.
Or is that just
upfront only. Yeah.
Okay.
But ideally, yeah. All it is you just say, look, I'll pay you $1,500 or whatever the hell the number is, right? Let's say your gig is worth $8,000 per restaurant or $5,000 per restaurant. You say, I'll pay you $5,000. And then if I end up closing more than 40 or whatever it is, I'll pay you an extra X, okay, as soon as I collect the money.
Okay.
And I'll be transparent with you. And but again, you got to ask her what she wants first, okay?
Yeah, because, I mean, she may ask for $2,000.
Totally. That's why the winner of the negotiation is the one who shuts up, okay?
Right.
What do you want? Right. And sit, okay? And I'll tell you, I can tell you that not long ago, I negotiated a $1 million deal that cost me $30,000 in exchange for $1 million deal because I shut up and I listened, okay? And I'm telling you, what I was prepared to pay was a lot more than that, okay?
Yeah.
All right? And I won't tell you what it cost me prior to that. It was a lot, okay? So the whole point is there is a massive amount of lesson. I learned a lot. Someday I'll be able to tell the whole story. I cannot tell the whole story right now, but it was mind-boggling, to say the least. Okay? So that's the key, is just and then find out what she wants. What else do you want? What else do you want? What else? Where do you want to go? Find out about her dreams. Paint a picture, because maybe you can help her get to where she wants, and it won't cost you any money, and it won't take you any time. It's a phone call away.
Right.
I've had many people just say, if you'd introduce me to X, that's all I need. Okay? I would like an endorsement. I would like, maybe you can just give her free access to your next product and 10 hours of training. Okay? Boom. A little bit of your time. Maybe you'll hook her up with one of your other heroes. It doesn't take you any time, and they help her achieve whatever her goal is.
Okay.
Helpful?
Very helpful.
Good.
I have a little bit more to ask.
Okay, I got to make it quick because we have to be off in 10 minutes, and I have to get Dennis yet. So make it quick, okay?
Okay. The other thing I wanted to talk about is when I think about the programs and the training, I think of marketers in one bucket and restaurant owners in another.
Mm-hmm.
And with like what you guys do, you have the business owners and the marketers in the same bucket. I'm afraid to mix them because I'm afraid of what's talked about.
Sure.
Almost like, we got hunters and ducks.
Yeah.
Can I put them together? I mean, do I have to keep them separate? Tell me what you think of that.
Yeah, I'd say you got to use your best. You got to use your best judgment. I would say I agree in this particular instance. I'm not focused on a specialized market. That's why I'm not afraid to mix it. So for you, I would be like, if you're coming up with some strategic ways of getting the most money from a restaurateur, I'd be like, you don't really want to go down that path. It's sort of like, you don't want to be crossing that area, and they might look and go, oh my God, she's a giant turd because of whatever. Yeah, exactly. You can't play both sides. So
okay, all right, that makes total sense.
Yeah, and here's the deal. very few restaurant owners have any interest whatsoever in learning this stuff or having to do it. Okay.
Right.
Yeah. So I would just I would focus my energy on creating a done-for-you service, and that's what I would do.
Yeah. Well, I kind of know that. That's why I'm not setting up a membership site for them. I think for them, what I'll do is create a package. You know, we've already got a book together. We're going to sell it in the back of a trade journal. If they buy it, they buy it. You know, they're going to buy it. They're going to find out they can't do it, and they're going to hire us.
Yeah, I'd basically do a lead gen campaign with run an ad with a QR code, text your name and email address, call this number for a free recorded message, and get a free kit on how to market your restaurant with blah 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 blah. Force them into an on-demand webinar and close them. Okay.
Oh,
that's what I would do. You got to capture that name and you got to drip on them forever. But I better take Dennis here before we got to go. We've got just a few minutes.
Go ahead.
So we good?
Yep, we're good.
All right, good. Congratulations, by the way. Awesome job.
Nice work.
Thank you.
Okay. I'm gonna get Denny D. Denny G. I got Denny G in the house. Are you there, my friend?
Can you hear me?
Barely. Why don't you turn up your mic or get
away. I'll just talk louder. Is that better?
That's a little bit better. You're still quiet, but we'll do you.
Okay. Well, I've never been accused of being quiet. Let me get in there real quick and see if I can jam it up just a little bit more.
Yeah, it's really faint here.
Very faint. Yep.
Okay, hang on. Oh, it went down for some reason.
Are you on?
How's that?
That's much better. Good.
Don't ask me if I'm on a Mac. That's a silly question.
You're a bad person. Okay. All right, good person. Yeah.
Hey, let me give you a little humor here to get going. First of all, Mike, two things I need to correct you. Well, first of all, you didn't listen to me, the thing I taught you. Still hear me okay?
Yeah, sure can, man.
Remember, profanity is a crutch of a conversational cripple.
Oh, yeah.
Okay,
I'm going to write that down.
Okay. The other thing, this is sad. Never tell anyone to shoot you in the head. I don't know if you've ever seen a headshot, but it's really, really messy. Okay, I got that done.
Well, here's the good news. I wouldn't know the difference if someone did it.
Oh, boy, you were right, but your loved ones would, and I wouldn't like that.
Yeah,
so anyway, okay, we good there?
We're good, man.
Okay, hey, guys, this is the first time since forever that I can remember spending the holidays, Christmas and New Year's, with nothing to do but visit loved ones.
Yeah.
And
congratulations.
Thank you. The last couple of months I have been re-energizing my batteries, and I have discovered that I'm not real good at sitting around. So here we go.
Good boy.
Okay. Hey, but I did enjoy it. It's now get back to it, so that's cool. Mike, you talk a lot about Tarantino, your story, correct?
Yep. Uh-huh.
Listen to this hook on my story. When we sold our business, and I think I've shared this with the group, I told my wife that she could choose any destination in the world, and I'd take her to that. Now I'm thinking of standing on my back deck, 25 pounds lighter, and making that statement overlooking my oak trees. It's a nice place. And then I'm going to ask the people, follow me or stay with me, and I'll show you, not tell you, I'll show you what her answer is. Then I'll fast forward to the location, which is a tulip festival in Amsterdam with beautiful scenery. And then I'll ask the question, how would you answer the question, where would you like to go in the world if you had to answer that question, better stated. And then I'll say, now I want to show you how we got to this point. And I'm just creating a hook. I just came up with that, and I wanted to throw it out and see if it makes sense.
Okay, give it to me again without all the interspersed thing, because I got lost somehow here. Do it again.
Oh, come on. Okay. All right. When we sold our business, I told my wife, because you know my model, my avatar. I told my wife, when we sell our business, the question was, where would you like me to take you in the world? Anywhere in the world.
Yeah, I got it. Uh-huh.
Place. Okay.
Where do you want to go?
I'm standing in my home, and then I'll say, okay, stay with me or follow me, and I'll show you her answer. And then the video of, we're going to go to Amsterdam, the Tulip Festival.
Mm-hmm.
It's supposed to be great scenery, and just kind of continue the video there, just to kind of hook them. And then the question, where would you like to go if you had that opportunity? And then let me stay with me, and let me explain how we got to this point.
Okay, so basically you're selling the dream.
Selling the dream.
Okay. All right. selling the dream always works. The other thing is the ownership experience is another important thing. And also, you know, you got to basically give them a magic button, silver bullet. Even though we tell everyone not to do that, the reality is that's what they're looking for. So it's basically time compression, okay? And knowledge, leverage, and stacking, right? So, so I like that. The only thing that you got to do with your selling the dream is you're going to have to humanize your wife as quickly as possible to make the Tulip Festival work, okay? So, you're going to have to... yeah, go ahead.
No, we're going to be in lots of places in Europe, right? But that was just an idea.
Yeah, I think it's got legs. The key to it is you got to set the stage so they get very associated with your wife and your story about your wife. So when you go to Amsterdam, they feel like they are there with you, and their story is the same as yours and your wife's. Does that make sense? So it's humanization and relating. So it's basically create a deep relationship with your audience plus you plus wife plus dream, and so you got to take them down a pathway of pain first, and then basically, you know, bring them through, you know, a couple of, you know, you can do this quickly and easily. It's just basically some pictures and a slideshow. Here I am, the badass cop, and blah 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 blah, right?
And a lot of that's done as far as it. Yeah, exactly.
Good. Yeah, back when.
Website?
Yeah, do you have it up on a website or something yet?
No.
Okay.
It's I've got pictures and the rest of the dialogues in my head and all that.
Great.
But I've gone back and recreated the journey.
Good. Well, I think the key is what I've found over and over again is like, you know, crank up old Keynote and make sure that you if you haven't done it already, again, I'm going to make a little a video on how to use Keynote to tell stories. But it's so stinking easy to tell a really powerful story inside a Keynote because, you know, it's like, I'll just kind of show you one thing here. Like if you have a picture, you can use this inspector. I'll bring this up here, and I should find a real photo. Actually, let me find a real photo, and I'll get... Okay, so here's one right here. So this is how I always tell stories, is I just grab... If I've got an image, and let me just create a slide, and I got to watch the time, but this is, like, super valuable. So let's say, for example... Give me a second. I'm going to find a picture I can steal from my computer here. All right. So if I have... Doggone rotten animal. There we go. Okay, so that's a picture. I can just grab this thing, click on it, and click on picture frame. See how it created that nice picture frame? And then I rotate it by holding my command key, and I kind of tilt it to the side. See how neat that looks? And then I've got, so I'm say the first day I was in my studio, and whatever happened, and then I came over here, and this is my, I'm sorry to put on photos of myself like this, but this is my before and after pictures, right? And I'm going to talk about, you know, whatever, and I'm going to tilt this picture a little bit like this. The whole thing is if I just do a progressive stack of pictures, all you do is sit there and click the button and tell your story, but you just practice it over and over again, and you just tell a story with pictures, and you use ScreenFlow to record the damn thing. But it is so stinking simple, and there's your video, there's your website thing, and so the bottom line though is the key is they've got to identify with you and your wife and your story before the tulips are going to matter, and and to sell the dream. So.
No, and I've got that all thought. That was just kind of a little thing I had today. I know you talked a lot about the Tarantino thing, and I thought, hey, you know, because you want to show. I'm thinking, geez, we're going there.
Yep.
I might as well take advantage of that.
Totally, I think it's a great idea. Just bring that video camera and shoot a lot of photos.
Okay, very good.
Yeah. What else you got?
That's pretty much it.
Okay.
Getting back in it and losing weight, and how many push-ups are these guys doing? I'm gonna have to beat them.
Oh yeah, I don't know what everyone else is doing. Mine?
What's the record?
I can do about, it depends, you know, if I'm doing my regular work, I can do about 60, something like that.
You better get cooking, because the old man will do that.
Yeah? You know what? I
Yeah,
haven't been focusing on. I'm focusing on the pull-ups right now. I'm up to, like, I
Yeah,
can do 20,
that's
25 wide
Oh,
grip.
that's good.
Yep.
Pull-ups are
That's
tough.
solid.
Good for you.
Mhm.
So, okay.
Yeah, you'll see me. I look a lot different than I did last time you saw me.
Well, good. Well, I'll be in San Diego, so that'll be great.
Well, we're going to have a great time. Can't wait to see you. And, no, this is super. So, are you going to have a slideshow for us when you come so you can pitch your pitch your dream?
Yeah, I think I've been working on that. Now I'm going to put that together. So I'll put a keynote together and we'll get going on that.
Okay, perfect. All right, Rockstar. Well, here's what we're gonna do. We're right at the end, so I'm gonna mute you here, and I don't know if there's anything else that we want to add, Henry,
No,
other
I
than
mean, I mean, we'll see everybody very soon. So.
yeah, see you in a couple weeks here in San Diego. I will be right in the midst of a another launch with Pam Hendrickson. Doing the Make Market launch, we secured Tony Robbins doing our sales videos and our endorsement videos. We're shooting him coming up here in a couple weeks, so pretty excited about that. And once again, most likely what we'll do is I'll construct and deconstruct what we're doing on that project, and hopefully it'll relate to you. So I want to thank, in reverse order, Dennis and Susan and Kathleen and Jason and Summit and Ellen for participating today. And I'll get the recording to you very shortly. But in the meantime, what did Spock say? Something and prosper?
Live long and prosper.
Live long and prosper. All right, we're gonna go on, and I can't wait to see you here. We're gonna have a great time at the Mastermind event. Bye bye.